Welcome, 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 friends. OG Murphy here with you for what hope will be a very exciting session of our Wednesday night D&D. We have been playing this campaign for 40 sessions now. My players are level 7. We tend to play shorter sessions, and I have 7 players total, so things do move a little bit slower than normal, which is why they're only level 7 after 40 sessions. Um, but we are getting to the end of an act, getting to a climactic moment. The party is in search of an ancient artifact which they believe to be in the possession of a powerful being, and they are most of their way from the place called Edgetown, which is literally at the edge of known society, to these ruins which lie, out in the wilderness. And they've gone through an orc fortress, and they're traveling through giant territory currently, and they were uh, traveling on some pretty precarious cliffs and had an interaction because with a like a bounty hunter style manta drake, because one of them is an escapee from a super secret college in the region. And so, this is where we're going to pick up. They're going to do a little recap and character introduction, and then we're going to play some fucking D&D, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So let's get to it. All right. So, I'm glad I missed the punchline. What are we? Where are we at? Who's doing a recap?
Reed is doing a recap.
Okay, Reed, let's hear it.
Last time on D&D. We... Fuck. Sorry. We buried Monzo. We had a eulogy there.
Oh, yeah, we buried Monzo. Oh, yeah,
We
that's
buried
what happened
Monzo.
last time.
Some things were said, feelings were hurt, but I think in the end, we all came together. I think we're all just a little sad that Monzo was dead.
Just a little.
Some of us were a little worked up. We got on the road. We set off on the road, looking for a place to stay for the night. When we happened upon a small camp where there was a dwindling fire, and we weren't too sure what was going on. So some of us rolled into stealth, tried to get a little bit of a closer look at what is going on, and we found a dwarf who was unaware of where we were, but his horse, Desperado, had informed that we were. There was some fuckery to be had. So, not too sure of Galfast. We weren't too sure who he was yet, so we were sneaking up to him. And was it Wilb or Bill? They got too close and startled him.
Yeah, I started the horse.
Yeah, you startled the horse, and then
but Kaithar was just like stomping up right behind, like not very far. Like it was not going to remain a stealthy interaction for very much longer.
So Desperado woke up Galfast, and then we learned that Galfast was a trader or a traveling merchant. Correct me if I'm wrong. And
no, I don't. I think you are wrong. Does anybody remember what Galfast is? Aaron,
but he was
sent
from Lord Estebar.
He's just a ranger. I brought food. I brought rations, but I'm a ranger sent from Estebar.
Yeah.
Okay. I know you were sent from Estebar to find a group of 7, but you were surprised to find a group of 6.
That's because Kaithar died. Or not Kaithar, sorry, Monzo.
Damn!
Not yet.
Tell me how you really feel.
Spoiler for this episode.
Damn.
And we all got to know a little bit about Galfast. Galfast got to know us. We learned that Desperado is a very old but trusty steed, and Galfast is apparently the one with the quick wit. And we decided to call camp for the night, and we set an order. So me and Atesk had first watch. Reed is now learning to read a little bit better.
Gooder.
More goodly.
More gooder.
And then we switched. Next was Sigbert and Arthur, and they decided to make tracks. And while they were making tracks, Arthur figured out that his lantern has some weird bulb around it, and he wasn't too sure what to do, so he said, the DM's trying to trick me, and walked away from it, and then eventually came back to it, picked it up, and then found out that it casts invisibility around us in a 30-foot radius?
20.
20-foot radius. And we decided to all huddle up around that because something big and angry was coming towards us, and eventually it walked past us, leaving this trail of fire. It was also not very happy. Mr. Grumpy Gills.
Mr. Grumpy Gills. That sounds like a pretty complete recap. Anybody have anything to add?
I thought it was concise. I thought it was great.
Wonderful. Then you guys can go ahead and introduce your characters in correct Discord order this time. So starting at the top with Tyler.
Hi, I play Tesk. He is a sorcerer from the College of Arcane Arts. He escaped and went to go travel the world. He's pretty plain, except for this cloak that makes him look like crap or makes him look super fancy, and this really cool crown that makes stuff explode. Other than that, just completely normal. He stands about 5 feet 8 inches tall. I've covered that before. And he's, just generally excited to be alive and here, and glad that the people who came to redeem him or take him back to the college a little while ago didn't murder his entire party. So he's pretty grateful.
You said he's 5'8". Is that with or without his shoes on? And has he recently had a haircut?
That's without shoes.
Oh, okay.
Barefoot.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's pretty
On
good.
a good day. On a good day.
Yeah. So he's like 5'9", 5'10" with shoes on, potentially.
Maybe.
Oh, funny. Great. Thank you very much, Tyler. Aaron, why don't you introduce us to your new character?
So Galfast, when you see him, he looks really old. His skin looks like it's been darkened by the sun. It looks like thick leather almost. It's got the texture of beef jerky. Looking at him, he has these thick leather boots on. They come to a point at the end. He's got a brown hat with a thick brim, maybe a couple holes in it where it looks like arrows went through and you had to pull them out. He has his hat pulled low, so you can only see his eyes. One hand he has a big wooden pipe, and he's a level 7 dwarf ranger, and he also has a black horse. Little small for its size, but it looks almost as old as Galfast, and the horse's name is Desperado.
That's a nice touch. The horse is almost as old as Galfast. I like that. Anthony, let's hear about Simone and Wilb.
Simone is he's taller than Atesk. He's I think he's like 6'4". Very lanky.
Very specific call out.
Yeah, and that's without shoes on. With shoes on, he's like 6'6" maybe. And he's very lanky. Wears a very long white linen shirt. Over that is chainmail that equally matches it. Up to then, it's like if pantaloons were cut super short, and then socks pulled up, underneath that with some black shoes on. He's bald with like a little tiny mustache, thin mustache. And he also there's Wilb, who is he's like half tiger, half snake with wings now. Yeah, he can fly.
And he's a big boy, right?
And he's not a big boy yet.
He's not a big boy yet.
He's not a big boy yet. Yeah.
Okay.
But we're getting there. We're getting there.
Okay.
It's bulky.
You can make him a big boy.
I can. Yes, I can. I can make him a big boy.
Right.
I can make him a big boy for sure.
Because that happened against, I think, both the giant and the thing that came after a Tesk. I think that happened in both those fights.
Evolutionary Surge is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And that's Simone.
Cool. Joe, you're next. I see you're muted. Are you there? Yes, you are.
I'm here.
Good.
Reed could probably describe the book as the witless wonder. Head as smooth as his bottom. Not known for knowing a lot, but he really kind of gives it all his all. Uh, Never been a bit of an emotional guy, but he's starting to like the people around him. A little bit. They're growing on him, and that's Reed.
And
I love all the new phrases. Witless wonder.
yeah, I do really like the small changes. It's like the week to week, and that's part of the reason why I do this is to give everybody a chance to like remind people like what their character's like, and then also like all the little stuff you come up with week to week where you're like, oh yeah, this thing about my character, you can just like drop it in real quick, and then your party just knows like, oh yeah, that's the thing. Um, Stover, you have the unique advantage. Well, advantage. We're missing a player tonight, so our friend Stover is going to be running two characters. One for our friend Chris, who normally plays Sigbert, and Stover. Would you introduce them both, starting with your own character, please?
Yeah, so I'll be playing Arthur Struva. He's a level 7 gunslinger. He's a human, and he's after a family heirloom after surviving various coastal wars and teaching experimental chemistry at the University Castle, New Birmingham.
Yeah.
Then we have Sigbert, who's a human fighter, level 7. And he found this motley crew to be able to gain more experience and gain more, I suppose, the right to fortune and a happy life after.
Love it for both of them. And then we'll finish with last but not least, our friend Soto.
Isn't he introducing
He did it. He got it.
above him? Okay.
Bow, bow, bow.
So, hi, I'm Soto. I am playing Kythar. He is a level 7 barbarian. Just back on the wagon now. He fell off for a minute. Actually, he did. No, he was on the wagon for a minute and he fell off. So he's back to its old
At
habits.
literally the first opportunity, the first drop of alcohol he stumbled across, he was like, "Yeah, I'm done. I'm done being sober now."
Yeah, it was the grossest alcohol he's ever tried. It made him sick for at least a good half day.
Like 8 hours, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, level 7 barbarian. He's about middle age. He's been traveling all his life after his clan has been wiped out by orcs. So he's on a vengeance anytime he sees one, but he's just on the path to find the next money to get him going on to the next path, and so on, so on. It's a vicious cycle. Um, with him, he definitely made mistakes in the past, and he's trying to reconcile those. Trying to keep our little twig friend alive the best he can. And that's Kythar.
Cool, love it. I'm going
Damn
to.
twigs.
I'm going to just give you guys a super brief recap to set the tone and set the scene, and then we will open up the game to all of you. So, as you guys mentioned in recap, you discovered literally last night that the lantern, which Arthur's been carrying around since you guys took over the orc war camp, has some kind of concealing effect, and you guys have like sheltered under this. Your new companion Galfast, sent by your employer Lord Estebar, resupplied you with well needed, hard needed supplies, and offered to sit for the remaining watch after you guys were disturbed, because this is all one night. You guys lost Monzo last night, less than 24 hours ago. You camped on a spot. You slept for a couple hours, got interrupted by hellhounds, lost Monzo, buried Monzo, saw a pillar of smoke coming at you, traveled for another couple of hours, met Gelfast, found a place to camp, camped, slept for a while until this pillar of flame moved from about 2 miles out to the location you buried Monzo, and then began coming down the road towards you, which cut Arthur and Sigbert's plan short of carving different paths and trails to just buy you guys some time as whatever this thing is was moving towards you. before you discovered that you had this lantern to use. And so you guys hit under this lantern. Galfast is sitting watch and sees the tower and pillar of smoke grow closer. And there's one small detail I missed actually. When you guys came to the intersection that Galfast was camped on, one of the quadrants was completely burned out forest fire style. Whereas you've seen a lot of soot and ash and burned trees where you've been traveling, a lot of that was contained to about the bottom 4 or 5 feet of every tree, which you guys all posited must be due to the kind of trails of flame and smoke that the hellhounds leave. That's about how big they are. There was a quadrant of this forest which was just burned out completely already, and this huge creature comes down, and Galfast sees this large humanoid figure built entirely of flame and smoke in much the same way the hellhounds were built, but his literally head and shoulders above the tallest tree in this forest. And he came through, sniffed around the camp that you skipped and hopped from just momentarily ago, and then continued down the road. And the bubble that you guys are in has kind of a sound dampening effect. Things are like muffled outside, so it didn't disturb the sleep of any of you, despite the fact that it occurred 50 feet away. And this was towards the end of Galfast's watch. So this thing continues down the road, but it leaves a trail of burning in its wake. It is essentially fire and flame incarnate, and some of the nearby trees have caught fire. Galfast is at the end of his watch. You guys are at the start of a day. You finally completed a long rest that you tried to start 2 sessions ago, and I guess 3 sessions ago now. And it's early morning. You wake up to the sight and smell of burning things. Smoke fills the air. You guys are like huddled under these, in this kind of like earthen cave underneath a couple of trees, and there's like a lattice work of roots which kind of protected you guys that you set the lantern in. The idea was if the giant stomped on here, it wouldn't crush you guys. You'd have like something to go in and under. And it is early morning, about 7 a.m. At the moment, Galfast is the only one awake. Everyone else is still sound asleep inside this bubble. And with that, we're going to go ahead and take it away. So, Galfast, what would you like to do as you have seen this creature and some of the trees around you have caught flame from it passing through?
Yeah, so he's done and passed. About how long has he been gone for?
This thing probably stomped away like 20 minutes ago.
And the lantern is still, I can still see it actively working.
Yeah, it's still got a blue light. Assuming you're sitting inside the dome. If you're sitting outside the dome, then yeah, it's still working because you can't see any of your party.
And that'd be my extent of the knowledge on the lamp. I wouldn't know the intricacies of it.
No, I mean, like, Arthur and Sigbert made it a point to kind of walk everybody through it. They were like, this is how it works last night. And some of you cared, and some of you were like, yeah, I don't care, and just went straight to sleep. You were awake the whole time because you got the better part of a rest before these guys got to you. So I think it's reasonable to assume that Sigbert, that Galfast would have, gotten the crash course.
Would Galfast know if I started a fire and made breakfast under here, if that would conceal the smell and the smoke?
You guys haven't done that yet, so no, Galfast wouldn't know that.
Got it. Okay, so I'm going to. It's the start of a day, so I'm just gonna like walk around everybody's tent, and I might grab people's by a boot and do a little shake, and then go to the next tent, open it, grab a boot, and do a shake.
No, mommy, no more.
So in my city, they have these machines called CPAP machines, and you can wear them, and they make it. It'll deal with that.
Sorry, that was a play on David snoring.
Thank you very much.
So I'm gonna go around waking everybody up.
Okay, sounds great. And as each of you awake, you're awoken first by Galfast, and then as you stretch and get your bearings and look around, you see this like trail of flame and smoke traveling along the main road, with many of the trees growing on either side of the road having also caught fire.
What in the fuck did that? Direct to
Big
consumer.
bright guy that was looking for you.
Fuck, I knew I had to own the money.
He didn't mention.
How long ago was he by?
What?
What? How long ago did he pass by?
I'm gonna stare up at the sun like I'm calculating. 22 minutes.
Oh, that's really precise. Okay. Which way did he go?
I'll point the direction that he went. The direction that we're headed, I think.
South.
Oh yeah. Okay, right. Yeah, the trail.
Yep.
Bye, Anthony.
Bye.
I'm gonna go over and wake up Sigbert and Professor Struva.
Sorry, Discord crash.
Ah, happens at least once a session.
Happens to the best
Yeah.
of us.
Ugh. Galfast. Good morning. Arthur here.
Hey, Arthur. I'd make breakfast, but I don't know how the lantern works. I don't know if we can cook under here.
Let me get the lantern.
And as you look around, there is no shortage of cook fires to use outside of your bubble.
We have a plethora of fire this morning. Thank God, I don't have to use my flint and steel.
Yeah, but when he walked past, he was sniffing around. I think if we start cooking, he'll probably, you can smell it.
Arthur and Sigbert want to do a perception check to see if that crazy pillar of fire is moving away from us.
You would be able to see it by just stepping a few steps towards the road and looking down. You cannot see the flame anymore, but you can see, without even a roll, you can see the pillar of smoke still, down the road, probably like a quarter mile at this point. Half a mile.
But in the
Mile.
same direction of where we need to go,
South,
right?
yeah, in the direction you guys were heading when you met Galfast.
Yeah, Arthur will communicate that to the party, and he'll take some embers that are around so he can put it in one of his horns, so that way he can start a fire better later. Sigbert is going to be looking off into the distance and see if he sees anything else that's odd or out of the ordinary besides the giant scorched earth policy going on.
I'll take a perception check for that, for a general check. Using Sigbert's stats, please.
Of course. So, let's see here. 5 with his perception of 6. That's an 11.
With an 11, the smoke has filled the air so much that his eyes begin to sting and water, and he's unable to look farther than a few hundred feet down the road.
What does he see?
Not a lot besides the road on fire, trees on fire on either side of the road, and lots of smoke.
Sigbert will communicate that to the party and complain, oh, my eyes. Ugh. This reminds me of one of my battles. I burned so many goblins that it did the same thing. The chemicals or whatever in their skin. See him just walk off and try and get his eyes straightened out.
Simone's going to be looking kind of down where the pillar of fire went. Is it following along? It's not following along the road that we need to travel on, though, right? It's in that direction, but just not following along the road.
No, it's pretty much right on top of the road. Yeah, it's pretty much right on top of the road.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Is there space on our side where we could follow it, parallel the road in the shrubs?
Yeah, 100%. But those flames are catching, and they have jumped a tree or two closer to you at this point.
And on this map, David, we came from, the direction, the north, right? And then, is this map accurate? Is there a 4-way fork in the road?
Yeah. This is north. This is south. What would that make this? East-west.
Okay. We could go down this way, and I'll point to the safe-looking direction,
Hmm.
west.
I'm
West
gonna
is still kind of towards the area you're headed.
So like, why don't we just like put out a part of the fire?
Yeah, I think
take
I
off.
can do that.
I can do that too, fool. We got like,
Oh.
that's how we fucking helped out that one puto. He's made of wood and shit.
Yeah,
Elm.
tree dude.
Elm,
Dude.
fool.
How do you put the fire out? I
Okay.
mean, I got a little water. I'm gonna hold up a little thing of water.
No, dude. Check this out. And I'll just
Whoa,
walk over.
fool. Are
and-
you're saying dude now? That's cool.
Oh yeah. I can't do puto like yourself. But
Hey,
I like it. He
hey,
says it just like
hey,
that too. That's great.
and then a test would cast freezing ray on fire.
On the fire?
On the fire on the tree closest to you that's caught.
Yeah, just like the closest thing I can find that has fire on it.
Yeah. What? Out of curiosity, what's your like range on freeze ray? Like what is
That's
it?
a good point.
Is it
I
like a line
actually
or
have no
is it a line
idea.
or a cone or is basically the
Fo-
question I have
40
for you?
Oh, it is a ray, so a 40-foot ray. So actually, I could be all the way back here and just plop it.
Yeah. So you like do you point? Do you
Oh, it was like a point and click sort of situation.
as Frost goes from a Tesk's fingertips and just like he like I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen the old cartoon Captain Planet, but very much so like Captain Planet style, like starts like putting out the fire on the tree, like freezes it all, and yeah, for this tree, 100% puts fire out.
Galpass is gonna like stumble back and like take his hat off and amazement.
Wait, dude. At the same to Kythard say that in character. Oh, we could put the fire out.
Reed's gonna look at Galfast and be like, "What? You never seen magic before, you dork?"
With the dork.
It's a small penis.
I reach for my dagger.
No, he's right. I read about it.
You can't read.
I can read enough.
Oh, not this again.
I mean,
As-
my name is Reed.
As his grip tightens on his holy texts, you can see the white in his fingernails.
Can you use one of those ice cube beams on the front of the trail?
Is that a question for me?
I think it was for a test.
No, sure. Let's see it, book boy.
Like, there's no hands.
Oh.
Thank you. I'll just walk up or I'll just start blasting. I just started blasting.
So anyway, I started blasting.
All right, Danny DeVito. Bam, bam.
That's the first clip of the night is Book Boy. Making a note there for myself. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I miss? Is somebody waiting on me?
Tyler's walking up to
Yeah.
cast.
What are you
Yeah.
casting?
Oh no, freeze ray.
Freeze ray. Is that a
Ray
cantrip?
Frost. Yeah, it's a cantrip.
Cool. And it basically it has enough power to put out the trees that are like catching near you. But as you get closer to the fire and start trying to like put out the path, the surrounding fire around it that's already burning just like fills in the space. Like as you're moving your ray back and forth, like you can see it. The flame goes out and starts to smoke, and then it gets all black as the water evaporates off where you weren't pointing, and then the fire kind of fills in behind it. It'll work
Can
for
I do
smaller
a-
flames. That's what I'm trying to do.
Can I just detect magic on the fire to see if it's magical or not?
Yeah, absolutely. And as
I'd like to do that.
you hit it with a cone of detect magic, and you are getting a distinctly like from the elemental plane of fire magic aura off of this fire. And it's much weaker than you would anticipate to be off of like those hellhounds, for example. I don't know if you detect magic to them, but it's the same flavor of magic, just more residual.
Gotcha. Okay, question then. So there's a water elemental that has the ability called Drench, where
Right.
it can put out non-magical flames. So this is considered magical flames then. In that
It
instance.
definitely, yeah, it definitely. You are detecting magic on the flames. Yes.
Okay. He's trying to get more.
You can summon a water elemental and try it.
Yeah.
You can certainly try.
I'm gonna look at A-Test and be like, well, what do we want to do, fool? Are we gonna follow along with this? It's not gonna be easy terrain.
I mean, I don't know if we could put it out. So yeah, I guess we just gotta go a long way.
I'm gonna go over. What was your new character's name again, Aaron?
Galfast.
Galfast. I'm gonna be like, hey, hey, puto, hey, and I'm gonna like snap my fingers, try to get your attention.
My eyes are just glazed over for a moment.
hey, what the fuck is wrong with him?
Hey,
He-
sleep.
He's hard of hearing. You got to yell.
Puto! You know, like really loud.
Yeah, Galfast walks up to you.
You're a ranger, right? Like, could you navigate us through the fucking bushes and shit? The thicket? You know what a thicket is, right?
I've heard of a thicket.
Isn't that called? Isn't that a juicy ass?
The fuck?
So looking at the thicket parallels the path, does it look like something we'd be able to go through, or is it like trying to cut through Mirkwood kind of thing?
No, it's traversable for sure. Like this is an ancient road where it hasn't been maintained for a century or more. But it was cut wide enough once that it's all new growth basically on either side, and it looks like as you look across to the burnt section across the road, that there's a lot of like new growth there as well, as if these forests get burned down pretty regularly, so they're pretty well thinned out.
Okay, so Galfast will say, "Yes, we can. I don't want to be too close to the road. The big guy will see us, so it shouldn't be any trouble for me to make it through these woods. I don't know about some of some of the members here, but
Are you talking about fucking Reed? Cause
is that his name?
Yeah, it's I know. Fool.
It's
Don't
a
make me
family
feel like
name.
I'm
It's a
not
family
You know, we're just talking at Rize right now.
name.
full volume.
He told me he could cast magic, and
Yeah.
then he didn't. So I don't know.
For
No,
some
I-
reason, his puto god
You've
thinks
never
he's
seen
special.
magic before.
Well, not an ice beam.
You think I'm special? I mean, do you have a god that talks to you?
Okay, hold on, Reed. You're right, fool. All right, your god's pretty cool. You know, you're pretty cool. We get it. All right, but first, we got a fucking like hella forest fire happening right next to us. So like, if we could like concentrate, on trying to get through the road as much as possible before we get engulfed in flames, that's what I'd like to fucking do.
All right, let's go.
Does anybody else have any ideas?
And as Simone
Puto?
asks this question, the lantern that you were all sitting next to, the light flicks back to standard light, and that kind of dull shimmer which surrounds you all drops, and you can see clearly and hear the crackling of the fire and all of that. Everything that had been muted is now at full volume.
Oh, that must be super loud then.
Well, it's a forest burning. It's definitely making some noise.
That's what I'm saying.
It's time to go.
I'm gonna whistle, and I want like Desperado like run up, and I want to like one hand grab the saddle and do like a one-legged swing up, even though I'm really short.
Oh, Legolas. You want
wanna
to
be
do
real
like
short?
he did in the Two Towers.
I will give you an optional acrobatics check. It's your horse. This is something that if you think is cool and you want to be able to just do, you can just do it. But if you want to roll an acrobatics, that
Oh
No,
no.
we're showing off. We're showing off.
No.
Okay. If my character sheet opens, so acrobatics.
-1. It's a
It's
5.
a 3. So
so a final of 9.
yeah.
Desperado like comes trotting up and Galfast like goes up to grab it, but like misses the saddle and grabs Galfast by the tail, and Galfast like kind of like hops his ass up in the air to go kick him, and just kind of like sends him into the air, and he lands on Galfast, but like way on his ass. He's like holding onto the haunches of the horse, you know, like just kind of like riding it on top loosely, and he like kind of scampers up and puts himself in the saddle.
I'm gonna nudge Simone and be like, not very agile, is he?
Hey, he's no Monzo fool. See, like that was special about Monzo. Fool was like he's such a big guy, but move with grace. This puto, look at him. He can't even get up his fucking own horse.
You hear my bones creak as it happens.
Hey, he's an old man. And I walk up to him and like help him get in the saddle properly. He's like, it's okay. They're just assholes.
Wow, does Kythar actually have values? Does he care about the elderly? Are we seeing Kythar
Yeah, he
actually
doesn't
care
even-
about something?
He doesn't. Kythar was a young kid, and most of the elderly and barbarian clan usually die off pretty like in their 40s, bro. So he doesn't get to meet the elderly that much. So he's very gentle with it. Very gentle.
He's not used to seeing somebody that looks like they're knocking on death's door.
I don't know.
Wow.
Well, to him, it would be death's door. This would be he's like the Grim Reaper.
Jeez.
Dwarves live a long time, all right.
I thought you were just so old. You're like so shrunken. He doesn't understand you're a dwarf. He just thinks you're old.
So Galfast ignores all this. He thinks he nailed the mouth there. You know, he kind of looks back with the brim of his hat's real low. You just see his eyes, and then I guess I'll lead.
Okay, sounds good.
Right
Just,
behind you.
Just a survival check to pick a path here, a safe path through.
Yeah.
Marching order, please, folks. I'm gonna write that down.
I can bring up the rear, I guess.
I'll bring up the front.
Or
Arthur and Sigbert would be next to Joe, so next to Reed.
I'll be behind Sigbert.
Thank you, Aaron.
Tusk will follow Simone.
Okay,
And I
so
do want to lead them pretty far, parallel the fire thing.
do you
but
have a specific
pretty
number of
pretty
feet?
far?
I mean,
I want to be pretty far. Maybe. I mean, we can see the fire. I know which direction south is, so maybe 80 to 100 feet away.
Cool.
Parallel.
so Galfast is 1. Who's 2?
I think that's Kythar.
Kythar. 3.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Number 3. In marching order.
Let's put fucking Stover's.
was,
Not Stover's. Fucking Chris's character.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stiggy Wiggy.
Sigbert. 4.
Yeah.
Who's number 4?
I was behind Sigbert.
Okay. That is Simone. 5. Got to be a Tesk.
Yep.
Yeah.
How about we line it up? Can we?
And that's usually what you guys do, but you guys didn't have them lined up, so I got to ask you. And then I heard
I don't
Reed
mind.
say he was going to bring up the rear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I missed
Yep.
somebody. Who else did I miss? I have Galfast, Kythar, Sigbert, Simone, a Tesk. I don't have
Sigbert
Arthur.
has to be behind Arthur,
Arthur, where are you? Sigbert's behind
in
Arthur?
front of Sigbert.
Okay, so you're number 3. So Galfast, Kythar, Arthur, Sigbert, Simone, a Tesk, Reed. Great. I want to know whether or not Galfast is on Desperado.
Yes.
And I want to know if he is keeping walking pace with his non-mounted companions behind him.
Yeah. It's a slow trot.
Okay, great. Galfast leads you guys down as you guys are basically staring at the ass of Desperado as you're moving through, and occasionally Galfast will stop you and he'll move you another 50 to 100 feet inland as, you know, parts of the flame and the road bends. He's getting you out of Smoke's way. The wind changes and he makes it a point to to cross to the opposite side of the road at some point and then back again. For like a rocky section that, there's no way those of you in like mail armor were going to make it over. And then he brings you all to a halt, and you, Galfast, look up and you can see that there is no more flame on the road, probably after about an hour or so of traveling. The road is no longer on fire. And despite the fact that every single tree on the opposite side of the road has been burned and scorched, there's a trail of flame leading through that forest, and you can see the smoke moving towards the nearest mountain to the east.
So I see the trail of flame, and it peels off to a mountain.
Yeah, basically it curves off to the east, off the road, onto the burned section of the forest towards the mountain in the east.
Got it.
But we need to continue going south, essentially.
Right. But because you're leading Galfast, you see this, and everybody's just following your lead.
Okay, so I'll point that out, and I'll say, it looks like he lost the scent and headed to the burn section. I don't know. There could be more of them there. I don't know how many are.
Well, do you know how to track these?
I don't think David, do you think Galfast would know how to track fire elementals?
I
am a tracker. I do.
Roll me a knowledge
tracks,
nature check. I'm sure that's a skill that you have as a as a fucking ranger.
I can also make an argument that leaving a giant trail of flames could be a way to track these things too.
Yeah, so that's the free info. That's what you get, even if you roll one. Is you can always follow the smoke, but you're looking up and you're seeing you find it suspicious that he peels off the road here after about an hour of what must be there being no trail because you guys did not walk this section, and then peeling off into the already very burnt section. You think about it and it like clicks for you. Like he's a fire elemental. He burns everything in his path. So the places he comes and goes the most would be the most burnt.
I think he's got a shelter up there, is what my gut says.
Is your gut named David?
It is named David, yeah.
Quite a legacy I have. Snoring and guts.
And so, since Kaitar has a affinity for older people, so all right, man, old man, I trust you. And I follow him.
The name's Galfast.
All right, old man, Galfast.
So, looking at the trail, would we have to cut through it in order to continue going south?
No, the road continues ahead of you more or less unhindered.
It perpendiculars out.
Right.
Dope.
But while we are walking, I do Galfast. I'm gonna reach into one of my saddlebags, and also I think Desperado's gonna take a shit right where Kaitar's walking.
All right, reflex. Can I do a reflex? Let me do a reflex.
I'll give you a reflex to not step in the shit. It's a low DC.
1.
I was being nice to you.
What'd you roll?
So okay.
Look,
okay, sorry.
Desperado's a great judge of character. I don't know.
The dice roll itself was 17. So do I have to add my?
No, you're super square.
Break.
To avoid the horse shit.
You called me old man. So okay, so I am gonna reach into my saddlebag, and I'm gonna say I did come with one other thing, and I'm gonna take a look at this. While they're walking, I'm gonna hand them the map that.
Take a look at this.
Yeah. Feast your eyes. The map that I was given.
And as he shows it around, Stover, Sigbert recognizes this map. Sigbert has a copy of this map in his bag that he brought from Lord Estebar's library. And I'm going to upload that file, Aaron, so you don't have to worry about it.
Sigbert, recognizing the map, takes out his own piece of the map from the library and shows Galfast. I didn't know there was another copy.
It's a direct copy, David.
Yeah, they're and you guys both Lord Estebar won't give you the map out of his library. Like you guys both took a charcoal rubbing basically of the map, and they're the exact same map drawn from the exact same original, which you know to be in Lord Estebar's library.
Okay, so I'll explain that this is Isolde, where we're loosely headed. and then I'll continue on south to follow the trail. I think that's the correct direction to get to Isolde.
Sigbert, looking at his own map piece, agrees.
Okay, the rest of you are seeing this map for the first time. While you're traveling along this road for the rest of the day, is there anything that you want to discuss about where you're going, about this new map, or
Yes.
anything along those lines?
Simone's gonna be like looking at the map and be like, "Is that like a moat fool around it, or is that like is it built into like a mountain? It looks like bushes maybe. I'm just trying to figure out like, or if we're trying to get into there, how do we get into there, right?
I'd hoping you guys knew. This is like your quest, right?
I don't really have any spells for that.
Well, like, you know, we usually just kind of fumble our way through things, and it kind of has been working out so far, except for like what, one person dying, unfortunately.
Yeah, he wasn't really much.
Oh,
party member.
no.
Too soon.
Rude to
Yeah.
the
Too
dead.
soon.
It's just rude to the dead.
Wow.
He's literally been, and keep in mind, Kythar, in character, he's literally been dead for about 28 hours at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, not 2 weeks. Okay, my bad. I was like,
So,
yes, yeah.
Anyway, completely changes his tone. So I'm gonna hand the map over to Reed. Yeah, what do you think, fool?
David, I think there's a slim chance of this, but I'm curious. Um, there is like a cross thing going on here in this picture. Could I do like a knowledge religion check to see if I've come across it anywhere?
It's an extremely high DC, but I will let you make a knowledge religion check and give you information relevant to knowledge religion.
Okay. That is a 19.
On a 19, Isolde is mentioned in some of the religious texts in your monastery, in your place of, in the library of your upbringing. And it is mentioned this way because at the time it was one of two major metropolises in the world, and as such, they were also like religious centers, like churches of all denominations could be found in Isolde, as well as this other population center. But that is like, as far as the layout of this city or like where a temple is, you're like looking at it and you can kind of guess what buildings may have at one time been temples, but there is no additional information of just looking at a top down layout that an old guy drew 1,000 years ago.
You said it was Isolde?
Yeah.
How do you spell that?
Isolde.
Got it. So you asked me, what do I think, Simone?
I said, I was like, what do you think this is, fool? Is this like a fortress? Is this like a moat? Like, what do you think?
This looks like an old city that I read about before called Isolde. It was in one of the big population centers quite some time ago. There were temples here, but I can't quite make out where they would have been. And that's all I know of this place.
Does your book tell you how to get in, or?
Nope.
Your book.
and as I say nope, I'm gonna hand him the book. He's like, nope.
Keep it. Put it in a saddlebag.
This is a big ass city, fool. I don't think walking into the front door might not be like the best option. Depending on what's in it. Doesn't mean that it's empty, right?
I can make one of us invisible.
One of us, yeah. There's no way like this forest with all the shit that we've seen so far has all this fucking shit out here and there's nothing in the city. There'd be no way. Makes no sense. So there's gonna be something in there.
For like a helmet, maybe.
That's
the helmet's
right.
there.
That we know the helmet's there, fool. That's why we're going there.
All right.
So when you get how will you know what the helmet is? When you get close, how do you?
Maybe my shield will start glowing. I don't know.
Oh, your shield glows.
I mean, I don't think I've ever seen it glow. Could I do a wisdom check to see if I have ever seen it glow?
Yeah, you can do a wisdom check for that.
Read the Witless Wonder doing a wisdom check. That's a 14. 2 14s.
That's a 14. To the best of your recollection, it has never glowed, but it does catch any light at all. It has a perfect mirror polish, so it doesn't glow, but it'll reflect light. Like in the, like the forest fire at
in
your
the
back
flames
is
of the
like,
fire. Yeah.
Glimmering.
Cool.
Yeah.
Never seen it glow, but it gets really bright. And I'm gonna like hold it out in front of my arm and wave it around.
You do that
The
thing where it like,
reflection of the fire.
yeah, it reflects the light from the fire. Ah! I'm just gonna be like, either way, we're gonna be seeing shit that's like, we gotta be ready for it. And we can't just fucking, blow up the whole left side of it this time.
Blow shit up!
Look at A-Test.
I mean, you asked me to.
I know, I'm not saying like you did something wrong. I'm just saying that's not a tactic we can use anymore. We kind of played our hand a little early there.
Well, we haven't tried, so how do we know it's not gonna work?
That's kind of an all or nothing strategy.
I mean, you want me to try? I can do it right now. I mean, I can make
fire.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, we don't need to do that this time. I can just make somebody invisible, and you can, get close and see what's up.
I mean, I hope things can't see invisibility, but you're right.
Well, I don't know. I don't think it lasts for too long, but it could get somewhat close.
Ever since the encounter with your creature, I think it was still able to see you while you went invisible.
Oh, for sure.
So
right at me.
If there's shit like that out there, I can only imagine. In fucking a seal day, even that sounds scary.
Maybe we sneak around the side for a while.
Let's just get there first, fool. We'll see. We might be able to see what we're dealing with already, right? Plus, like, we know the fucking dragon's there, right?
Oh, he could probably definitely see invisibility.
Is anyone here a hobbit?
Kythar shrinks down. He starts squatting.
Sorry, I think that's they don't call them that anymore. Sorry, halflings.
I know. Trademark. Well, sue him.
I know. He's like, I'm on it.
I needed to ask, what's the plan when we do find the dragon? I mean, he wanted me to come down and help, but he did. I was hoping you guys had. What's the plan?
We have to recover like an artifact and bring it back to our benefactor.
And the dragon, you don't think that's one of his? He won't be a big deal.
That might be like the problem. Is who currently possesses like the fucking helmet?
Possession is like 9/10 the law, right? Isn't that what they say?
Lawyers.
So I buy it from him, or?
The idea is to like not have him like attack us, and we just kind of leave with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you guys been successful in that up till now?
No.
Up until this point, we just killed everyone. They had it coming. Lord Estebar asked us to do it too, and then I'm gonna pull out the bag of orc teeth that we've been collecting, and I'm gonna show him, and I'm gonna like jingle it.
Which you know even before he opens it what that sound is, and because Lord Estebar has made that offer to all of his rangers as well, not just these adventurers. You yourself have made some of the coin in your purse on these same kinds of tusks.
Yeah, I probably hold up a matching bag that has a couple. My point is, Orcs are on the ground. They're soft, like us. The dragon, not so soft, not so much on the ground.
Yeah, well, we got a quest to do, right? This is something that is it's gonna be very lucrative, right? So can kind of make or break us.
I'm gonna.
So you
I'm
guys are
gonna
like in
look-
it for the money.
Yeah, I'm gonna bluff it and say yes. Can I roll a bluff? Do you need me to roll a bluff?
Well,
Are you trying to?
honestly, it depends on whether or not Galfast is likely to believe
Yeah.
you. He doesn't have that much experience with you at this point. I'll leave that up to
Yeah.
Galfast.
Someone's gonna totally say, "Yeah,
I believe
fool,
it.
it's all about the gold." I'm
So you
trying to
guys are
get.
mostly sellswords.
I mean, when there's gold, there's putos like me.
What the puto?
It means friend. It means friend.
Oh, what language is this? I know a few myself, but
Oh man, hold on here. I gotta look at the
Druidian.
new world map here.
Yeah, and the world map is. I need to update it. I accidentally updated it, but I updated it from an old version of the map. So now I have half of my map on one map and half of my map on the other. I need to like combine them. I haven't done that yet. But yeah, that should have everything relevant. It just doesn't have the Egalian continent, I don't think, as well. But if you look at the two maps, the one I posted previously and the one I posted now, you can kind of all the information's there.
I think he's just looking for a city name.
That Irishshire Sea to the left of that like desert mountainous area. Do you have a name for that?
Give me just a second. The Irish.
And if
It's
you
called-
don't, that's
it's
where
called-
Simone's from.
I was gonna say it's called Fool's Desert or Fool Valley. He speaks Foolian.
So I'm gonna say that I'm from that island, and that's how we talk, puto.
Your people from that island must be very wise.
Well, we got a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
No, I
And
believe it.
me and my family, we made some coin, traveling from the mainland to the fucking back to the island, back to the mainland. We were merchants, fool. I'm trying to get that back on the ground or in the water.
Back in the water.
And those are the Verenby Islands, for whatever it's worth, Simone.
Verenby.
Yeah, Verenby, Verenby Islands.
Baron Billy is what he speaks.
Because I'm an island boy. That's good.
And on this trip, Galfast, he is going to be sketching the area, like making a crude map for himself.
Cool. Love it.
While I slowly trot. And I think we're just continuing for.
Yeah, we're just following along.
Cool. Then I will DM you through a bit here today as you. I guess I got to roll my random encounter die. Yeah, as you guys roll through this stretch of road is a generous term for it because, like I said, it hasn't been maintained in at least a century or more, probably much more than that. And so it's like pitted, and there's nothing's been cleared, and occasionally you guys have to to veer off the road to go around like a fallen tree or like a rock slide or something of that nature. But you guys make pretty good time. Actually, you guys make excellent time with Galfast's survival roll, and you do basically a day and a quarter's worth of travel in a day, and you cover much more ground. You cover basically 10 hours worth of travel in 8 hours on foot, and you have begun to, as usual, you've begun to lose light at about 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the evening. But you guys have just been following behind Galfast, and you come around the bend. And as a reminder, you guys have come through the Crooked Pass, which is this super high altitude, super narrow pass, and that's where you had like the cliffside encounter, and the crazy flying thing came in and tried to get a Tesk. The Orcish fort was like right at the tippy top of all of that, and you've kind of been working your way down. A couple of days ago, you got out of the mountainous terrain and got back into kind of more hilly woods. And you've still been slowly descending back down to sea level over the last few days. And so you guys are coming down one of those soft bends, and the road curves around. And you guys got to give me a second. I've got a pre-written chunk for this here. As you guys make your way through this unfamiliar territory, the scent of the sea air fills your nostrils. The once mighty walls of Isolde, now within your sight, are nothing more than long curved lines of crumbling stone and mortar, stacked high around the perimeter of the now derelict city. Within these walls lies an absolute hellscape of shambling skeletons, wailing wraiths, and dark, twisted shadows, which you can see from your point of elevation coming down. Uh, the entire city is surrounded by a large bay, which forms a peninsula with a long, narrow stretch of road that ends at a decrepit gatehouse, flanked by a pair of weathered statues. One is of a man missing its head and arms, and the other of a woman whose beauty can still be seen in the face of the aging visage, even over all this distance. Standing ever vigilant in front of these statues are two ancient stone golems, showing signs of battle long past, though just specks from here, you can see the signs of weather on them. And looking into the crystal clear water of the bays surrounding the city, you can see hundreds of ships disintegrating in their final resting places, adding bits of debris onto the pile collecting on the shore. And intermixed with that pile of debris are skeletal figures, which are making their way out of the water, leaving trails of wet sand behind them, and they're shambling up the ridge and towards a gap in the crumbled fence on the west side of the city. Towering above it all, on a prominent hilltop in the center of this city, lies a grandiose temple or palace of some sort, in pristine condition, especially compared to the ring of ruined structures which surround it. And in the dim light of sunset, you can see a pulsating blue velvet light emanating from within this building. And circling above it are these familiar looking flying forms, quite reminiscent of the creature you encountered on the cliffside. You guys are still over a mile away from town, but it's close enough visually that you can see the size and scope of this city. The only obvious means in is this road leading to the gatehouse, as it is on a peninsula surrounded by the bay. You guys are coming to the end of your travel day and are going to need to set up camp anyway. What would you guys like to do this evening?
Can you say one more time the before you talked about the palace, you talked about the skeletons coming from the sea. What did we see one more time?
Looking into the crystal clear water of the bay surrounding the city, you can see hundreds of ships disintegrating in their final resting places, adding bits of debris onto the pile collecting on the shore. Intermixed with this debris are skeletal figures, human forms, skeletons, making their way out of the water, leaving trails of wet sand as they shamble upward towards a gap in the crumbled fence on the west side of the city.
You said there was a statue of a woman that was not very worn.
The statue of the woman was worn, but you can tell even through all of its age that the woman this statue was built based on was an incredibly beautiful woman.
Um, would that be something that I recognize, and I could give you whatever check you want?
This is not something that Reed would recognize.
Okay. Okay.
I'm curious, David, looking at the map that we have.
Yeah.
So you said north, south,
North
east,
is
west.
the peninsula. It's flipped. The
Got it.
peninsula
Okay.
is on the north side.
Okay, and I'm in the picture. It looks like a moat. Is it more of it's sticking out into the sea?
Oh, this, yeah. Basically the picture, the ancient drawing you have, only
Yeah.
loosely matches what you're seeing in front of you. Where that moat is on the map is now a huge bay.
Got it. And ships all over the place. We have the palace in the middle, and then on the west side, which would be on the right side of this map, we have skeletons going from the derelict ships into the
Right.
city somehow.
And the west
Okay, I
side
got it.
for reference is the side closest to the sea, because now as well, in addition to the city, like if you guys just look out to the west, it's just open water mostly from where you guys are standing. Like it's the ocean more or less.
Okay. I think Galfast just stops and is just he's never seen anything like this. So
Yeah. So someone's gonna be like, "Oh fuck." So
That
like,
doesn't look good.
how many of
uh,
those ice cube blasts you got there?
Oh, I can do it. I can do that all day.
Oh, you're set.
I need a cold drink, you know.
so from our side, what is like the obvious entrance to the city?
The obvious entrance is to continue down the road that you've been traveling on, which terminates at an old gatehouse. Like the old road that you guys are on is that strip that comes up from the bottom of the map, which flip it in your mind is actually the north side. So you guys will be coming down, from the north through the
Gotcha.
gatehouse. Would be the obvious entrance, but D&D is an imagination game, and you guys can do whatever you want.
Imagination.
Yeah.
How close are
well,
we to the gatehouse?
You guys are a mile or two away from the city. Like you can see, you're just close enough to be able to tell that there are huge statues up front the gatehouse, and that one's a man and one's a woman. But the golems which stand in front of them are teeny tiny from where you're standing. It's still pretty far out.
Yeah, it's pretty close though. What do you guys think?
So the gatehouse, I'm assuming then there is a gate surrounding it then, right?
Uh, there is a gate in the gatehouse, but it's not in good condition. Like it's not a perfect. Ow! I just hit myself with my own nail. It's not a perfect gatehouse. It's like this city. If the date on the map that Sigbert and Galfast have is to be believed, this map was drawn over 1,000 years ago. So you've got 1,000 years of decay and coastal breezes and whatever the fuck else has passed through here has like wreaked destruction on this place, and it's obvious that there was something that happened here, like just by the sheer level of destruction. Like it's not just old buildings, they're like crumbled and destroyed buildings, and chunks of the wall are in worse condition than others. But yeah, I mean it's a huge old ruined city, and the gatehouse is also old and crumbled and ruined.
And you said now's a good time to camp, right? It's late in the day.
Now it would be a good time to camp. I just you guys can back it up and get because it was basically I tried to narrate like a bend you guys came around. So if you guys wanted to camp out of the eye line, you just turn around and backtrack 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and get yourself behind the hill you came around, and you'd be out of eyesight. I just gave it to you like the moment you could see it for the first time.
Yeah, no, that's terrifying. So definitely.
Go
Should
back.
we
Hey, oh,
find a clear spot? What was that, Reed?
You're pretty good at finding stuff or tracking stuff, apparently.
Your
right?
your
I mean,
words. Your words.
You brought us here.
Yeah.
Does it look like anybody else has been running through here?
You're asking me? No. The roads are fucked. I don't know. We pay our taxes.
No walking path. Doesn't look like anybody else has been walking around here.
Nope. I make my tax payment every month to Lord Estebar, and this is what the roads.
You're
Potholes everywhere.
you're really stuck on the fucking tax thing, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean,
You
we
brought
don't
it
get a
up like
vote.
3 times.
I just think if I'm paying taxes, I should get a vote
We
on
just
who
saw
the
like
leader is.
we just saw like a terrifying city of decrepit skeletons and these putos flying everywhere, and you're worried about taxes.
Do you think Lord Estebar's county or province would even go out this far? I mean, we're
Wow.
pretty fucking far.
Can
That's a
we
good point.
focus on the matter at hand?
Arthur's gonna focus on getting some food. Try and hunt.
Arthur just
Well,
wanders off. He pulls his rifle off his back and just goes and wanders off.
All right, let's go find a spot to camp. We'll talk about this later.
Yeah, let's table this. I think we're onto something.
Wait, what?
Arthur, survival roll for your hunting, please.
Sure.
I'm gonna start setting up camp.
Yeah, is it going to be tough to find a good place, David, or is it pretty easy to find some good?
Roll a survival check. That's the standard find a campsite spot.
Yeah, 17, Dave.
On a roll of 17, Arthur disappears for a little while, and I will narrate you coming back with your hunt after these guys are done doing their thing. Was Simone also rolling a survival?
I was like, I'm gonna go look for a camping spot too.
Gotcha. So Simone,
Mine's
Simone, Arthur, and Galfast basically all just like scurry off in different directions, leaving the last four of you being.
Hey, Simone, you mind if I join you?
There you go.
You're gonna kind of see me like take a deep breath and be like, yeah, sure, fool, let's go.
I'll follow.
Sounds great.
Yeah, it's here behind me.
Not my fault.
And I'm looking for one as well, David. I guess by myself, and I rolled a 30.
Yeah, with a roll of. I'm sorry, Simone. What was your final?
Mine was 19.
19. So Simone finds like a well-sheltered campsite. It's up against one of these hills, and there's a big shade tree nearby, and it blocks the line of sight from the ancient city that you guys just saw. Galfast, on the other hand, finds like a small cave that's just like absolutely perfectly suited to you guys. It comes down to a bottleneck on the front end that's highly defensible, and the whole thing is like up on a ridge where you've got great line of sight on the way out, and the whole thing is oriented so that the back of the cave faces the Sulde, and the mouth of the cave faces the opposite direction. Meanwhile, Arthur comes back to whoever gets left behind, and he's got like a wild pig slung over his shoulder.
Coming through. Arthur will put it next to wherever they're going to be starting to make a fire.
I can see
Get
that.
a rack going.
I can see that Galfast is not sitting in his computer, so we'll say Simone comes back first.
Yeah, I'm here. Listen.
Okay, so Simone and Galfast both make their way back, having found campsites.
I'm like, oh, nice catch.
Thanks. We need to make a rack for this thing.
Well, fortunately, and I'm gonna kind of perk up. Like, I don't usually do this. I'm like, I don't usually do this, but I found this spot. It's pretty nice. Blocks perfectly from the fucking city. Like, we have enough room. Like, it's outside. It's a nice night, fool.
I don't want to. You got a good thing going here, but
Well, you got something to say, fool?
I just think we should consider all of our options for campsites and not stop at the first one that we find.
We only
Biggest
have
juice?
one campsite. You found one?
Yeah,
Well,
I'm gonna kind of point to the cave.
I'm,
Well, now we
I,
have
I,
two
we
campsites
we
to
obviously
choose from.
don't see it though, right? Because you rolled a survival.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't see anything, fool.
And he like literally leads you guys through like some brush and some thicket, and it's like a classic moment where he like pulls back one of the branches, and there's this like cave mouth, just showing it perfectly camouflaged.
I'm gonna look at him and be like, what if there's a bear in there, fool?
I mean, there's 8 of us.
I think
It'll be all right.
the bear would be scared of this guy. And I'm gonna point towards Kythar.
Arthur's going to get excited about the
Let's
bear,
go.
possible more meat.
I'm somewhat of a bear myself.
I'm
From
all,
the cave.
have at it then, hunters. I didn't know everyone here was a fucking hunter all of a sudden.
Even Sigbert gets excited because he's like, oh, I'm kind of hungry too.
David, from the cave,
Bonzo.
did you say we could see? Did you say we could see the city?
Opposite. opposite of that. It's like if you were to, like the mouth of the cave faces north and the city is south of you. So the city's like behind you. Like if you could drill through the mountain, going in the direction of the cave, you pop out the other side and be able to see the city.
Okay, I'm gonna start laying down my bedroll, and I'll say to Struva to you want to put the lantern out? We could be helpful.
Sure. Here, put it in the location you think it's best.
You got a 20-foot
Okay.
radius, which covers most of this cave. So if you just put it in the middle of the cave, you'll pretty much cover it.
Arthur does that
Cool.
and lets Galfast and the party know where it is. Lamp's right here.
And for the first 10 minutes or so, you guys can see it. He puts the lamp down, and it's just a regular-ass lamp. And it's only after about 10 minutes have passed that anybody sitting close to it sees the light flicker blue, the constellations on the outside begin to glow, and then that shimmer go out around it.
Well, what activates it? It literally sat there for like 10 minutes before it turned on.
Maybe it just has to warm up.
But what warms it up, fool?
Doesn't that seem kind of magical to you, Atesk? Wouldn't you
I'm-
want to know about the magical properties of it?
I mean, it's interesting, sure, but it's not mine. I'm not going to take some other people's magical things,
Yeah.
I could ask to see it, but I've been focused on other things. Like teaching you how to read. So we should probably do a little
All
bit
right.
of that
Thank you.
at
Thank
some
you.
point.
Oh yeah, before bed, we'll do some bedtime reading.
All right.
Okay.
I'd like to do the smoke and fire test to see if you can see smoke and smell food from outside of the lantern.
And as Arthur begins to set up his spit and start, frying this huge hog that he managed to hunt, after, that takes about 10 minutes. So he gets it all up, the lantern kicks on, you see it kick on, and Galfast, stands up and goes and walks outside of the range of this, and it goes from, like, smelling like, caramelized, crispy, burnt fat to cold, crisp night air. No smoke, no smell, no sight.
Galthas walk back in, and I'll start making his put his bedroll out. And I do want to, before we take watch, I'll be sketching the area.
Okay, sounds great.
Kythar is just gonna sit by the fire. Is the fire? Wait, hold on. Is the fire made?
Yeah, because Arthur's cooking the pig.
Gotcha. And I'm just sitting there on the log, just sharpening. Not sharpening my axe. I'm polishing my axe. Sorry.
Okay.
No, my axe, my fucking hammer. God dang it.
You're good.
Polishing the hammer,
You're good.
getting all the blood off, making it nice and purdy.
Purr.
You tell the group is like, well, if no one wants to, I'll take first wash.
Arthur and Sigbert will take second watch. They want to have a little bit more time to cook and stuff before.
Okay.
I'll be with Atesk again.
Sounds good.
I'll take the last one.
Simone's just gonna kind of go into a part of the cave and just kind of prepare his spells and like meditate,
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah, he's an elf. That's what he does.
Yeah.
Sick. Then, as you guys make your way through your watches, I mean, this is probably this or tomorrow morning. Kind of your guys' call will be a good opportunity to discuss game plan. I feel like you guys are kind of waiting until the morning to do that.
Yeah.
Then you guys can have whatever dialogue you want, and whenever you're done and Kythar's ready for his first watch roll of the night, he can take a perception roll.
All right. Let me get the old sheet.
Oh, Aaron, you need to update your Steam icon. You're not
Oh,
Monzo
wow.
anymore.
Oh,
Wow. You put
Oh.
it's been 1 week. It's
Yeah.
been 1 week, and you're already
Yeah, get that shit out of here.
He dead.
18.
on an 8.
He did, and Stover killed him. I was kidding.
Wow.
Just
no, Arthur killed him.
Okay, you're right. You're right. Arthur killed him. Sorry, dude.
Let me take a look here.
Tell me, what do I
You-
see?
You look outside and you can actually see quite well in the light of the nearly full moon. You can see the swaying of the treetops, and from inside the dome, the sound of everything is muffled. But you have your eyes kind of peeled outside, and there's a flash of movement just across the top of the cave. You only see it for a moment, but it looked like it might have been one of those flying creatures that you've had an experience with recently.
How far is that distance?
Um, probably like a quarter mile out.
We're under the
And
dome.
it's flying
Okay.
fairly high.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. I was like, all right. Me think I should tell next watch. Me think that's a good idea.
Is this how Kythar thinks?
Yeah. No. Yeah, for sure. Not much thought going in that brain. Ooh. Other than pretty hammer.
Otherwise, the rest of your watch passes.
Yeah, I just snack on some bark and just take the night on. As I'm assuming since my night passes is like, and I wake up Arthur and Sigbert. I get them both up. It's like, hey, big flying thing in the distance. About what would he use for distance?
He'd probably use how long it would take to travel on foot. And for him, let me see here. That's probably like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, like worth
Okay.
of walking.
15 minutes that way. And he points
Good
in
to
the direction
know.
where he saw the
Arthur's
flying.
going to notice the bark that Kythar was eating.
But,
But he didn't want some of the pig?
Leave it for the scrawny one.
Okay. The Sigberts, I'm digging in.
He said, flying thing, high in air. Look out.
Dragon. We'll be on the lookout.
All right. Good night. And he pats Arthur on the cheek. Good
All
night.
right.
Good night.
Sigbert kind of laughs, but he just turns to himself so Arthur can't see.
And Kythar goes directly to bed.
Great. Then perception checks out of Arthur and Sigbert, please.
Okie doke. So we got a nat 20 for Sigbert. And then for Arthur, we have.
Let's just go with Sigbert's because he's got the highest. And what's his final?
I think it's 27. Yeah, or 26. Excuse me, 26.
On a
final.
on a 26, and with with Kythar pointing it out, about an hour into your guys' watch, you do see a streak across, or Sigbert rather, sees a streak across the sky, which he squints and looks. And Sigbert is just a human and has the limitation of human eyesight, but it looks smaller than a dragon, whatever it is. But there is definitely something flying out there, and it made a very wide arc. Like it came in from the southeast and arced around, due north, and then disappeared on his peripheral vision to the southwest.
Sigbert will say to Arthur, "Hey, I saw whatever that flying thing is. I saw it go curve southeast, then north, and then it was able to fly away. I can't see it anymore. Definitely not a dragon." Arthur's gonna go, "Are you sure? We haven't exactly been on our luck recently." But Sigbert goes, "I'm sure." Either way, it's further away now. Arthur will nod and take a bite of some of the bacon that's still being cooked.
Yeah.
And Sigbert also takes. I think he takes some of the roast. He's more of a chomper.
That sounds right. That sounds like Sigbert. And the rest of your watch passes more or less without incident.
Sigbert and Arthur tell some tall tales and have some fun. Just being on watch together and eating their late dinner, they wake up the next watch.
Cool. Do you remember who the next watch is?
No.
Then who are you waking up? Do you want to roll a wisdom save?
Yeah, Arthur will roll a wisdom save because Sigbert said, "Do you remember?" No, sorry, I was a little distracted. With a 16 plus 3, that's a 19.
It's a Tesk and Reed are the next watch.
Arthur's going to go to Sigbert. A Tesk and Reed are the next watch. I had it in my notes. Shows them the notebook. Then they go over to their particular sleeping arrangements and gently wake both of the two members up.
And that would be a Tesk.
My turn.
Yeah, it's your turn. We didn't see anything other than what appeared to be something smaller than a dragon, but not a dragon. Fly off north. It's not a dragon.
But not
You
a dragon.
saw a dragon, not a dragon.
It's not a
Nothing but
dragon.
that.
Don't
Do you
put words
think
in my mouth. I know you're just getting up here, and then you'll see Arthur hand him some
Yeah, you're right. I'm a
homebrewed
little
coffee.
out of it. Oh yeah, that's the stuff right there.
You could thank Galfast. He had supplies and everything.
Oh, should I go wake him up?
No,
Oh, okay. Well, I'll thank him later then.
thank him later. He'll thank you less if you wake him now.
Why don't you get to bed? I'll Reed and I'll get to the watching. Probably a little bit of reading too.
Okay, nothing
A
else.
bit of
We didn't see
reading.
anything else, but just keep that in mind that we saw one beast flying. And we'll see if it gets any closer to us or further away. On our
Yeah,
watch, it went further away.
How far away was it again? I forgot when you saw it.
So he'll describe how Kythar's character saw it about 15 minutes away by walking. Dave or DM. How far away?
Within the same distance. Within the same distance. Also high in the sky.
High in the sky, so higher elevation, but still 15 minutes away via marching. Okay. Have a safe watch, gentlemen. And then both Arthur and Sigbert will go to bed.
Okay. And
Alright.
that leaves a Tesk and Reed.
Let's go turn to Reed and go. I don't think he knows how fast I can walk.
I don't know what that is. 15 minutes away. That means nothing to me.
I can walk really fast.
It would mean something to your character because or distance is often measured more in the time it takes to travel than in leagues or miles or feet, because it's more of a colloquialism of folklore. So when he says 10-15 minutes away, Reed would, as an adventurer, be able to mentally do the math and know it's about a quarter mile.
I'm gonna retcon that, and then in response to him saying I can walk so fast, I'm gonna say it's because you're practically all bones. There's not a whole lot there that you gotta carry.
I mean, it's good for traveling.
So what are we reading tonight?
I thought we'd read one of this, and I pull out this really absolutely ridiculous kind of magical document thing, not really a book, but kind of like a brochure. And I'm like, we're reading this.
Okay. Great.
And then I'll probably just go through and have him read just all the words in the book.
Sorry. I don't know what it means.
That's fine. You just have to say the words. It's not about the understanding. It's about pronunciation.
But oh, okay. You want to give me a hand here? What does it start with?
It's not about
X.
It's about
X. A ver.
Xylophone. Xylophone.
Right.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Basic words are good. I ain't ever seen a fucking xylophone.
Yeah.
What
Did you
is
know
that?
you can use them for magic?
You
It's
can
like
use-
a magical instrument.
Okay. Cool.
Reed's
Dang.
character just swear.
Yes. He's frustrated.
And a test would look up and like try and see if he notices anything.
Yeah, go ahead and take your guys' normal perception checks. You're reading in those dull moments, between looking up and, you'd be distracted a little bit, but I'm not gonna like penalize you for it because I think this is a fun moment. I don't want to make you like roll at disadvantage or anything for your perceptions.
17 for me.
Better.
A 17 for you and a Tesk.
11.
Okay, so we're going off reads. Then with a 17, you say?
Correct.
About an hour into your watch, you do see coming in from the east and behind you to the east and disappearing behind you to the west. You do see a large flying creature of some kind, but you don't get a great look at it. Also have human eyes. A Task who has low light vision is able to detect this movement as like Reed points it out to him, and like squints and looks at it, and he's not sure if it's like paranoia or his eyes playing tricks on him, but it looks a lot to him like one of the creatures that he encountered on the cliffside.
Oh shit.
Hey man, I think that's one of those things that attacked us that one time. You remember that when we're on that cliff?
Oh,
Or, like,
you mean
wanted
the
to
giant thing
kill me?
that tried to kill us and throw us all off a cliff? How could I forget?
It really was a minor incident in our travels, but I'm glad that you remember, and I think that's one of them. Fairly sure.
Okay. Well, we were able to handle the first one.
Yeah. Makes me worried if they're hanging out here. There might be more.
Well, I don't think we have a choice.
At least we know, right? This time we won't be surprised.
That's correct. Alrighty. I'm ready for bed.
Yeah, me too. It's enough learning tonight, and
You could say that's enough reading.
uh,
All right.
Boo!
Who are
that was
who are you guys
It's all in
waking up?
character.
Galfast.
Galfast.
Cool.
Tesk would like do the thing that Galfast did to him when he woke him up this morning, like tap his shoe outside of his tent. If it even
Galfast
sticks
is
out
like-
that far.
Wow. From fat jokes to short jokes, huh?
Easy transition. Easy transition.
You're up, big boy.
You shake Galfast's foot, and like it seems like he's dead. Literally no movement. You think he might have like passed away in the night, and then he wakes up.
Swallows a big ball of spit. And just,
I would have died if he slept with his eyes open. You're like trying to kick him. You're like, what the fuck?
That'd be funny.
Oh, man.
Hey,
Okay.
it was pretty quiet, but just one minor little thing.
Yeah.
yeah,
Bird or
you weren't here when it happened, but there was this
raccoon.
creature that tried to murder us a while ago. We think they're still living. There's one over there. It's like flying around. So if you see it, and it comes towards us, wake us up. But I'm gonna go to bed. So just keep an eye out.
I could probably hit it with my bow.
No, don't do that. No. Just if it
Okay,
comes
you go to
towards
bed.
us,
We'll see what happens.
wake
You go to
everybody
bed.
up. Well,
Play it by
it'll
ear.
probably it almost killed all of us together. It'll probably kill you. So just be careful.
I'm old. I'm ready for death.
Oh, that's not comforting as you're the person who's watching us.
I'll take out everyone with me.
But I'm gonna go try and get some sleep.
Yeah. Should be good. So I'll sketch the area. with my time, and then I would like Desperado to smell for scent, and I'll do a regular perception.
Sounds good. While you're rolling that perception, Desperado doesn't pick up anything on a scent. As you're rolling the desperation, that joke reminded me of a joke that I heard back in the day. It's, I want to go out peacefully like Grandpa did in his sleep, not crying and screaming like the passengers in the car.
I was thinking of the exact same thing as you were talking about it. 21 total.
And as a dwarf, you do have low light vision, correct? Or do you have straight up dark vision?
I
I
thought they
believe
had dark vision. Yeah.
I believe, yeah, dark vision, 60 feet.
It's only 60 feet though. Okay, so well, I mean, yeah, I got you. So then with Galfast sitting there, he is out there looking, and out of his peripheral vision, about an hour into his watch, he catches some movement, and he squints and he looks up in the sky, and he sees this like large winged creature that seems to have like 4 legs and a spiky tail and like a pokey head and like big bat or dragon wings of some kind. And then while he's still debating what kind of wings it has, it like makes an arc to the due north and then disappears again to the southwest.
Does it look like it's patrolling, like just on a regular, same loop, or is it like hunting and searching, flying to new areas, spending time hovering, looking around?
The only information that Galfast has is that there's something he's supposed to look out for, and he saw something that matches that description flying in an arc that came in from the southeast, went due north, and then kicked back around to the southwest in like a parabola around him.
All right, Galfast says he's going to knock an arrow, but he ain't going to shoot it. But he's
Cool.
ready.
Cool.
But he'll take everybody down with him.
Galfast will finish out his watch. We're going to take our break, and we'll come back just a little bit after 8:30, and you guys can reconvene in the morning and make a plan for your day.
Sounds good.
All right, let's be back in 5-ish.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. Galfast has just woken you all up the following morning. Everybody except Simone has an idea about what happened last night because they had a watch. Simone got to meditate pretty peacefully throughout the night, and I guess he could have eavesdropped on some conversations over that time, so he may be in the know. But
Mhm.
Galfast has like woken you all up. There's still plenty of pig left over for breakfast. What are a lot of you guys gonna do?
Make it sausage. We got to take some of this with us.
Sounds good. And you save some of the intestines for just this occasion. Go and clean them all out and get a little casing out of them and make you some sausage.
Didn't someone do research specifically on the city? I,
Unfortunately, that was Sigbert. I'll
uh,
fill in as much
I did write a
as
bunch down.
he can. I mean, you guys did it in partnership, so somebody was Sigbert's partner and asked a different question. But in theory, you guys were all there and you guys all shared all that information. So,
Not all of us.
well, I guess that's true. Galfast was not there. Good,
R.I.P.
good call out, Aaron. Um, but I will, he's not here, so if you guys ask him anything that I think is within reason that he'd know, I'll tell you. And if I think it would be questionable that he'd know, then I'll make Stober roll a wisdom save.
I was just gonna say, I'm like, hey, didn't you do research in the library about this place, Sigbert?
I did. I even have this map.
I was about to say, I think Sigbert's exact question was he wanted to know about the area around Isolde. And so, like, I think he was your first indication that you were going to be going through giant territory. Like, I know that you guys picked up on it when you picked up Tahaka's journal, but I think that Sigbert knew that and told you guys that before you even left Edgetown, that was going to be part of the deal, because he like looked into the area around it. I think he knows that there. I think he even knew there was like a. I forget what I called that city because it hasn't come up yet and been super relevant. But whatever the city is on like the other like south of the mountains of Irigan, like there's like an orcish nomadic holy site there that people like stop at and that like nomadic orcs stop at. And so I think he gave you guys some heads up about the area surrounding it. But as far as the city itself, Stover, why don't you roll me that wisdom save, and I'll see how much I'm gonna dump on you guys right now.
See me a wisdom save for Sigbert.
For Sigbert, as Sigbert tries to remember all that research he did and references his notes. That's a great roll.
17.
Yeah. So Sigbert remembers that the city of Isolde was one of a pair of twin cities at one point that were connected by a powerful portal that was unlike anything else in the First Age. And for reference, you guys are like adventuring around in the Second Age, and so it was like ancient technology that's been lost to time. Both of the sites of the cities are like people know where the cities used to be, where like which ruins are these cities, and they know that once they were called Isolde and Tristane, but that's basically all the information that they had. Um, Let me see here. With a roll of 17, he he would have known that this was a major population center, but that's already been dumped on you guys this session. Um, and he would probably be able to infer that the ships that like filled the sea, between him and Arthur, well, with their kind of shared experience, you guys would be able to detect like signs of a naval battle, and know that this was a coastal city. But that I think is pretty much the extent of what he figured out from the library.
Gotcha.
So put all that in Sigbert's voice.
So we've been able to find out all of this, and just gonna describe all this to the party. Do you really want me to say it in Sigbert's voice?
No. I was trying to shorthand that. Like, and all of that was in Sigbert's voice that I just said. Like, you guys all heard
And
it
all of that's
in
Sigbert's
character
voice.
as Sigbert's
Okay.
voice, as he's like referencing his notes and like going over his research with you guys.
I think this is how he would say it. There was like a naval battle, and the city had it was like a twin city. That's like Sigbert. I don't know if it's good or not.
You know, I give it a passing grade.
Yeah, it's a C.
Mini pass.
Oh, that's funny.
C's get degrees.
So we're
Anyway,
just doing our
so
morning stuff.
yeah, I'm gonna kind of look to the rest of the party and be like, so what are we doing? How are we getting in?
Well, I was thinking of just walking through the front door.
I agree.
So we
could-
saw a hellish death city with I think I heard hundreds of skeletons,
There wasn't a specific number.
a unspecific number of skeletons walking into it, and we want to walk into the main and just right in front door.
Wait, the skeletons were walking into it? Like they were on their feet walking into it?
Yes, but onto the west side, I believe.
Yeah.
Also saw the dragon thing, right?
Multiple.
And
Dragon thing. What are you talking about?
Oh, you didn't see it on your watch?
I didn't have a watch, fool.
Oh well, I was paying attention then. Obviously, slept through the night. One of those. Remember that thing that attacked us? Trying to take me back, steal me.
The
Etc.
weird dragon thing.
Yeah,
half
yeah, we saw
dragon.
one. I think.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Was it looking
So-
for you?
No, it was just patrolling. Maybe I don't know.
I'm gonna look around. Is it around us? Can I see it like anywhere in the sky?
No, you like poke your head out the cave and you don't see anything right now.
Maybe it only
Hey,
flies at night.
Well, then maybe we need to make use of the day, fool.
We've
I
only really
think-
been here during the night, and the other one came during the day too. So
I think maybe we should take the gatehouse and then go from there.
Or we could, look around and see if there's a boat that isn't completely dilapidated.
Sure, we can do it that way too. Is there a way to? Oh, I guess so. Since we're like the bay area, right?
Yeah, I mean, you guys have no line of sight from your cave, obviously, but yeah, you remember there was a big bay around the peninsula.
Yeah. We can try that.
Yeah, I'm
it's
just
better than just fighting our way in.
Anybody else got any bright ideas? First of all, hey, here's an idea. Can anybody swim? Any of you putos?
Arthur and Sigbert raise their hand.
Can everybody can swim here, fool?
Wouldn't say it's a strong skill of mine.
Perhaps
Can
we
you
can
do the-
row instead of
If-
swim for everyone else that's not so keen on the water.
And you guys all remember, with the exception of Galfast, you guys all remember your experience with the strange sea creature and being forced to swim for a little while. Everybody remembers that moment.
Yeah. Well, since the sea creature fool, I've only gotten worse with swimming. So
Well, I mean, how big are you?
if you can guarantee that we don't fall in the water, fool, let's go that way.
guarantee.
That's right.
I don't know about guarantee, but Arthur and Sigbert are going to be looking around for if they can find any kind of raft or anything that looks
We're in
any
a
craft that looks
yeah, we're-
seaworthy of any
We're
kind.
in a cave right now.
We got to go down to the beach to find the
Yeah.
rafts.
That's where they're going.
Are they just like standing up and walking out and not interested in the rest of this conversation, or are they gonna like finish out the morning planning session before they head that way? Because you're like 20, 30 minutes away from from that? Because you had to backtrack a little bit to get to this cave.
They're getting ready to go. I mean, at this point, they're like, well, we gotta go find a raft. They're getting ready. They're getting their stuff together. They're
Cool.
getting
Yeah.
all their gear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we?
Um,
How long do we have?
What do you mean? How long do you have?
Like,
for like
do I have enough time to say a quick prayer?
yeah, just say it quick.
No. I mean, I'm gonna do the prayer state thing, and it's gonna be an internal thing. I'm not gonna say it out loud. Do I have enough time to do that while they're gathering everything else?
Well, that's not a question for me. Is that something that Reed's going to do, or is he going? And I'll ask you the same
How much
question. Are
time?
you just going to walk into the corner and pray? Or are you going to finish out the meeting? You tell me what you're doing, bud.
Oh, I thought we were done meeting. That's what I thought I heard.
Is it an action you're talking about? Is it like an ability
Yeah.
you're using?
No, it's just like you going into like a meditative state kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just start packing up the camp around you then.
Okay, yeah.
Cool.
I'll do it.
Do a quick meditative state.
I'll text you, Mr. David.
Okay, this is good.
And then
Okay,
once I'm all packed up, I'm gonna be like, "You fools ready?" And I'm gonna kind of shake Reed. And be like, "Let's go."
Okay.
I'm gonna leap on Desperado like I did the first time.
Smack my face.
I'm gonna do a performance roll. I'm doing another leap on Desperado for flavor. Give me a good one.
What's your final, out of curiosity?
So I do have a high plus, but let me see. Oh my god, it's not opening. Oh, here it is.
And he's dead.
It's a 1.
I got to say, that's the
Wow,
whole
he's a
reason why
performer.
you dump points into skill points, is because 1s and 20s, rules as written anyway, are only natural failures and successes within the context of combat.
So I have my ride skill is 5, but my untrained performance is -2. But you want acrobatics?
Yeah, I want your acrobatics. Because you're,
Okay,
you're
so
short.
it's a total
You
of
jump.
4, rolling a 1.
It's a total of 4 rolling a 1. You guys have seen, at this point, you've seen Galfast miss the saddle and hoist himself up by the tail. This time, he does not quite get the tail as he's reaching up and blindly grabbing, and instead grabs Desperado the stallion's man-horse bits.
Oh wow!
And this
Oh my
thing-
god!
And this thing, Desperado lets out this loud yelp and rears back and just kicks Galfast and sends him tumbling about 3 cartwheels backwards, and he just lands kind of on his butt, with Desperado just kind of doing this awkward walk back and forth with his back legs.
Are you sure he's your horse?
I was in a meditative state. What'd you say? Like I came to rest and just laid there for a moment. Oh no, we do that sometimes.
You grab his dick? Sometimes? That's okay?
He's still here. So.
You just said that you do that sometimes, from time to time, right? So that means this is a common occurrence.
All right, boys, let's mount up.
No.
Slowly
I can't
go,
trust
bro.
somebody I don't know. What's going on here?
Do a high whistle, click of the teeth, click of the.
Is he gonna come back, the horse?
I do want an animal handling check out of you, Galfast.
Okay, let's see.
As you give your horse the command to return to you.
Okay. Why does it not say what I loaded? Oh, I'm in the console. Son of a bitch.
Oh
From time
no.
to time.
Building that anticipation.
It's at a 6, so
You rolled a 13?
12.
12? Oh, 12 total. 12 total.
12
12
total.
total beats your DC to. It's only a DC of 10 to get your animal to do basic ass shit like come to you. So we just, but it doesn't beat it by much. So we just like kind of like looks up at you sheepishly and just like shakes his head, and you just like you like whistle again, and he just like his ears just like drop back, and he just kind of like the slow trot desperado comes back to you.
Whoa!
Are we gonna finish this conversation, or are you just?
I just fucking mount up and move it off. Awkwardly exit the conversation.
Yeah, Galfast for the first time doesn't try anything flashy, and it just like grabs the saddle like normal, gets his foot in the stirrup, and just like hops up, and it's kind of awkward. He's got to kind of get his butt up in the air to like really get the other leg over the horse, but nothing flashy. This guy can obviously mount a horse. He just is not great at mounting a horse in motion, I guess.
I'm gonna look at Simone and go, well, should we hit the trail?
1 second, fool, and I'm gonna start summoning Wilb.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
And you've got that down to 30 seconds, so
Yeah.
Wilb. Remind us what it looks like when you summon Wilb.
It's like a tear in the fabric of reality kind of opens, and then Wilb just kind of like slowly trots out, and then immediately goes and like lays back down, and he's like licking his paw and like putting it behind his ear, licking his paw, putting it behind his ear.
Like cats do.
Yeah. And then the other the snake side is just kind of its tongue kind of comes out for a second, comes back in, out for a second, come. Yeah. And be like, all right, let's go. Arthur and what was your name again, Puto? And I'll point at Aaron's character.
Galfast.
Galfast. Yeah, hey, can you guys like find a trail down to the beach?
On the way.
I go with.
I mean, we're all going with, fool. Just how to get down there.
As long as my character's known Kythar, I think he's spoken in caveman English, so that's all I think of that character.
I help lead. I have a decent survival check, so I'm gonna do a survival check to help lead.
Yeah, you guys have to decide who's gonna actually lead you. That's up to you guys as a party. Simone has proposed either Arthur or Sigbert. Kythar has stepped forward and said that he'll do it.
I'm just like, someone's just gonna shrug his shoulders, be like, as long as it gets us down there.
All right. I'll bring up the rear.
Fuck. 10.
A 10.
For a survival check.
Yeah, Kythar leads you guys. So keep in mind, you guys have to, walk out and around to get back to, the terrain that actually descends into the bay. And I'm just gonna hit some bullet points for you guys here. You make your way around that bend before you even begin the descent down to the bay, and you can see in this bay. To your right on the west side, there is, hundreds. That's where the hundreds were. There were hundreds of ships, ruined ships, sitting in the bottom of the bottom of the bay, which is crystal clear water, and there's like driftwood coming out of these ships, and then like mixed in with the driftwood are like skeletal figures and like bones, which are like reassembling on the beach and like shambling up and clambering over the like ridge that turns into the base of the wall, where they're kind of like squeezing between a crack there, and it's just this kind of like stream of bodies, basically, of bones that are trickling up there. There is this large the city is set just like the map is, so there are like concentric circles which go around a main central point, which is raised up on a hill. It's some kind of palace or temple, which is basically brand new. I mean, it's not ruined or destroyed like any of the rest of the town is, and there's this like blue violet light like pulsating out from it. And then in the city itself, you can hear, even from this distance, the sound of like wailing and undead screaming and banshees, and you can see like dark shadows. And if you were to just follow this road, which you're not going to do, you're going to cut off and go down to the beach. But if you were to follow this road, it would lead you down a thin strip of a peninsula to a gatehouse, which has two statues in front of it, one of a man, one of a woman, and then two stone golems in front of them. And so this is what you guys see. Kythar rears off the path, and you guys follow him for a while, and you guys are following him for like 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes. You're like following him for half an hour, and you still haven't gotten down to the water yet. Is there anything anybody wants to do?
I think we good this way.
Arthur and Sigbert roll Sigbert's gonna roll a survival check.
Cool.
He's getting a little more anxious to get down the beach.
Sigbert's sitting anxious. Oh, nice.
Yeah, so for Sigbert, that's a whopping 27.
Dang.
Sigbert like catches a glimpse of the bay between some of the trees, because you guys have come down off your elevation. You're literally going down to sea level at this point, and he like caught a glimpse of the bay, like way off to your right. Like Kythar led you guys, like Sigbert can tell, Kythar led you guys down to within about 100 feet or so of the shore, got turned around, and then started walking back up again. So you guys are about as far away as you started.
With Sigbert, he's going to point the party into the direction. This way.
No, I
Arthur.
think this way.
Arthur's going to say to Kythar, follow Sigbert.
Why? I think it's go this way.
Arthur's going to go to the rest of the party. Sigbert has a particular path that will lead us there faster than pretty much what we've been leading from Kythar for the last 30 minutes.
No. I don't think. I think the right way this way.
Arthur is going to get his pistol, out, and he's going to get it half cocked. And
Okay. Someone's gonna step in.
That was quick to violence. That's
man.
I thought I was
sheet?
the barbarian.
Where's
here.
my clip sheet? I lost it.
Galpass is just watching.
Someone's gonna be like, whoa, what the fuck, fool?
I think it's this way.
We're just talking about directions here. Hold on.
That's what I'm saying. I did pull out hammer,
Hold on.
but he bought out his puny hammer.
you see Arthur, it's still holstered, but it's at half cock. And he brings it to full, and then he continues to follow Sigbert's direction, where he is now going down to the beach.
That cute. You can't even heal the broad side of a barn.
Oh shit.
Be like,
Simone
hey,
was saying
Sigbert,
something. Yeah.
what makes you think it's that way, fool?
I'm going to communicate the DM's reasoning to the party.
Sigbert says, I saw the water back there. We're walking away from it right now.
I'm gonna turn around to Kythar and be like, let's just try following them for a minute. If they can't fucking find anything, then we'll keep going this way, all right?
Okay, I thought long way around would be better, not to get caught, but all right.
Oh, fuck, fool. How long of a way? And I'm gonna turn around.
We eventually get there.
What's the party doing? Where are you guys going? Who are you following?
I'm following Sigbert.
Arthur's following Sigbert. After he puts his hammer back down, safely.
Yeah, Tusk would also follow Sigbert.
Galfast is going to ride up behind the Tusk and say, hey, I know you teach night school. Maybe you need to make room for one more.
Well, if you haven't caught it yet, I don't know if he can be taught, but...
Oh,
He's
really?
willing to
What
try.
do you mean?
What do I mean?
Out of curiosity.
Kythar is just like is gonna walk up very like disheveled, is like because no one wants to follow him. It's like, what you two talking about?
And Kythar, remind me, what's your intelligence stat for your character?
It better be
7.
one.
7.
7.
So
my
horses, for perspective, horses and animal companions can have intelligence of up to 5. So Kythar's intelligence is closer to horses than it is to most of you guys.
That tracks.
Just to kind of put it in perspective for you.
And there's a difference of 10 between.
Oh yeah, we were talking about.
Wait, are you seriously 17 in intelligence?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your constitution?
8.
Those are your opposite. You guys are opposites.
Shit. Well, okay, I reiterate, that tracks.
And when Kythar asks, I'll say, "Oh, we were talking about
over here.
what a nice day it is out here."
It pretty day.
Beautiful if we go that way.
What's that way?
I think it's the ocean.
Way?
What's ocean? I know big pool of water. That's about it.
Yeah, the big pool. The big pool is that way.
You know what,
Oh,
Kythar? You may have never seen the ocean before with where your hometown is.
Yeah, no, I don't
Charlie
think I've
Day.
ever seen. No,
Yeah.
the only thing, like, I think the lake that we got attacked was
yeah.
probably the biggest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I was like, I like the pool that we went to. Is it gonna be like that?
You know how you like look out and you see land everywhere, like trees and forests. It's like that, but it's just water.
Well, duh, we all see that, right?
Yeah, but you're asking what it looks like. It's like that, but just water, not trees and land. It's just water.
Whoa.
And if you just go that way, you'll see it. And I point in the direction Sigbert went.
Kythar turns around, books it towards that direction. that he was pointing towards.
He like stomps past Arthur and Sigbert, who are leading it, and he's just like trotting along like a fat kid heading to the candy store, like just mobbing.
Okay, and
Duskull lean over to Galfast and go, "Can you believe we let him lead us this far?"
You're such an open-minded group. I'm really proud of you. You're very inclusive.
We actually get paid by Lord Estebar.
Oh, I see the stipend go out.
Yeah. It's a supplemental income.
Passive income is the best, I think. I've always been a big.
This is more like a hobby. I like to think of myself as independently wealthy.
Yeah, so.
Okay, so do we make it to the shore?
And ruin all this roleplay? Absolutely not. No. Yeah.
We were kidding.
We're back on a tangent about taxes.
Kythar gets there first, but you guys break through the tree line and get to
found it.
get to
Oh
the
God.
edge, get to the edge of the area you guys are heading to, and you look across the water, and you can see towering above you. You know, is that central palace. You can see that Kythar has accidentally led you guys eastward. So you're on, you've put a little bit of distance between where the sunken ships are and the skeletons are coming out of the water, and you're like around the bay a little bit from that on the east side instead of the west side. And you look up and you can see that there are 2 or 3 of those flying creatures like came for a task, and one of them has a ironclad, armored rider on it, and it takes off from the top of the palace building and heads due southwest straight towards the area that Atesk knows is the College of the Arcane Arts. But there's water in front of you.
Yeah.
Can I take bath now?
Dude, you should have taken a bath yesterday.
Arthur's
someone
gonna give a
get-
sarcastic thumbs up.
Can someone get my back?
No, I'm not doing it this time.
That's right. I got wrestled into a pond last time.
Before you met Lord Estebar, your party wanted you to they forced you to take a bath.
Well, he shit himself. If you don't remember, if you
Oh, I
remember, and
forgot.
he-
Yeah, you
Wait,
got
I
that.
thought I threw off. I don't
Yeah.
remember.
No,
shit.
you got the runs in the graveyard because everybody
Yeah.
went to go meet Hood, and you like
Yeah.
ran off to go shit behind a gravestone somewhere.
and then you shit yourself, and then you didn't clean yourself up.
Mhm.
You just
Hung
Just
over
let
Is this
it
all in
lie.
character? Am I hearing the story?
For the first time, Belfast or Galfast is hearing this for the first
Yeah.
time.
yeah. And then you like shit yourself, fool, and you smell like shit.
Okay.
So then Reed had to put your ass in the water.
So you helped me this time, right?
Yeah, Reed will help you. Where you at,
No,
Reed?
Simone's helping you.
Reed,
And-
listen, Reed. As much as I don't want to play this card, it's kind of your responsibility, fool, as a paladin, right?
Hey, Kythar, why don't you point at who you want to take, who you want to rub your back?
I turn and hold on. I turn and look at the group, and I was like, I'm gonna pick my buddy. He grabs the desk by the neck of his collar and just, come on, buddy. Just drags
Test
him
will
with him
resist.
towards the water.
Test will resist. Then start with the reflex save a test.
Oh, I'm gonna win. I hope
Resist.
I'm gonna win this.
Reflex
Never
save
wanted a 20.
is not contested. This is just to see if he can get out of the way. What's that?
I've never wanted something more in my life.
Oh God damn it!
He's faster.
18.
18 is enough to like sidestep this like giant paw that starts coming at you because Kythar is kind of known for doing this shit. It's not the first time a desk has been grabbed by Kythar.
No, it's not.
So he like knows to be on his toes around this dude and just kind of like twinkle toes out of the way. And what do you want to do, Tesk?
I'm gonna say
No.
okay. No,
Hold on. I want a
hold on,
Tesk's
hold on.
reaction.
No. 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 No.
But I gave you ring. I thought we friends.
I mean, we are friends, but I'm also friends with, everybody else, and I don't watch their backs, so.
But I thought friends wash back. I wash back. Isn't that how the saying goes?
I mean, maybe in your, yeah, that's why, it's more figurative than I.
What's figurative? I have fingers.
No, it's where you say something that represents something, not like me actually doing. We like.
Kythar's
watch
just gonna
each
be his
other,
face is
watch
just
out
going
for
into
each
like
other.
questioning. So like,
Slackjaw.
Yeah.
what?
And
What he
I'm
say?
gonna throw him like a stick, the closest stick I can find.
Okay, no one go with me. I guess I'll stinky on my back now. And I turn to walk away. And I take off all my garb, and you see a streak. He's going straight from his butt crack all the way towards like the middle of his back. He's not great at wiping, guys. I thought we made that clear.
Yeah.
Simone's
now you know
gonna
why I didn't
be.
want to do it this time.
Simone was surprised at the city, but is now has shockingly been more surprised.
So wait, yeah. So let me paint this picture here. Let me paint you guys a word picture. You guys are standing on the shore of of literally uncharted territory. Yours are all probably the first quote unquote civilized eyes to lay on this city, besides Tahaka and his orcs, since like forever. And so you're sitting here looking at the ruins of this once great city, which is just a nightmare in and of itself, with like skeletons and like ghosts and like shadows and just like weird shit everywhere. And then circling above the palace on top of it all, which by the way is also emanating this crazy light, are these big flying creatures. And then just like standing in the foreground of all of that is Kythar, shit covered and filthy, buck ass naked, wading into this pool of crystal clear water, so clear that you can watch it immediately start to like cloud up as he steps into it, and all the dirt starts to like soak off of him.
It's not only dirt.
Yeah, well, I was being tactful in my language.
So, seeing this Galfast is gonna like squint at him as he does it, and then I'm gonna do like a Clint Eastwood spit, like out the side, like I had chewing tobacco in, and I'm gonna say, "Something's wrong with that boy."
I'm gonna look at Arthur and be like, "What happened to Kythar? Does he have like a concussion?
Maybe.
He used to use words like and two and the. What happened?"
Kythor can hear back on bottle.
Oh God.
Kythar gets
Just what we
smart
need.
when he's sober.
Arthur's just trying to stay on mission. Sigbert, let's see if we can find some kind of seaworthy craft to get us over.
And I'll take perception
watch out
checks
for
out of both of
ghosts.
you guys.
Okay.
What were you looking for one more time? I didn't catch it.
I'm looking for seaworthy craft that we can somehow
Cool.
go around and do something. And once again, Sigbert is on point. So Sigbert got the 17, so then with his perception, it's 23.
On a 23, you guys kind of walk up and down the shore here, and Arthur finds some like errant pieces of driftwood, but not nearly enough like material to do anything with. Sigbert is looking around, and he does see that though it's not the same concentration of like hundreds of sunken ships, there are a few ships and like smaller crafts and what were once perhaps like secondary craft or lifeboats or fishing boats, like much smaller boats that are sunk out at this distance where you guys are looking, and none of them are like seaworthy now, but there's a large canoe style fishing, one man fishing boat that you could probably squeeze 3 or 4 men into, in the water, probably no more than about 100 feet away from the edge of the shore.
Sigbert's going to point that out to Arthur. And then Arthur with his driftwood, which looks a little pathetic, but he puts 2 and 2 together of, oh, maybe we can repair the boat if there's any leaks or anything. So they run over to the boat and assess its seaworthiness.
The rest of the party sees Arthur and Sigbert kind of walk off up the shore, and then sees Sigbert point something out to Arthur, and they both kind of like wade into the water and then like dive down and disappear.
Oh, okay.
Like he just cleaned his shitty body in that water, right?
They're like 200 feet up the coast.
Arthur will say, "I heard that."
I'm gonna like jog up to them and be like, and try to like see what they're doing.
Water's crystal clear, so it's distorted, but you can see their figures down there. And I want a swim check and a strength check both. You guys are just assessing. So probably just a swim check out of you guys, and we'll say.
Oh, how far is it away?
Well, it's only about 100. It's only about 100 feet out, but there's a pretty sheer drop at about the 50-foot mark, and it's probably down another 100 feet or so, maybe less.
Okay. Arthur, of course, because he's got firearms, he's going to be this again. You see him take off his rifle, put it on the beach, and pretty much get ready to, he like puts a cork and like a little thingamajig to go on top of his flintlock to keep it watertight. Haven't done this in a while. And you see him getting ready. Sigbert is getting rid of his secondary gear so that way they can make a swim and not just drown because of their gear. They don't want to get dogged down. They just want to get to the boat.
Cool.
Yeah, so we got to do the swim check, right, for both of them?
Swim checks, yep.
All right, here we go.
You guys both have training. This is not that far down. Yeah, I just want to know your final. I'm sure that Chris's is going to succeed.
So 16 for Arthur and 10 for Sigbert.
Oh, interesting. Sigbert has a Oh, I see. You flipped the order this time around.
No, I mean it just on my screen, like the one on the left it would be Arthur, and the one on the right would be Sigbert.
I got you. Then, and good on you for doing it that way because it'll always auto sort them. You said that it was at least a 10 was the lowest with Sigbert's?
Yeah, Sigbert was just a 10, and then Arthur was a 16.
So Sigbert like gets down and like kind of looks around a little bit and tugs on the boat and starts to look it over, but he has to like come up for air pretty soon. And Simone sees Sigbert is the first to surface. Arthur is a proper Navy man, or was once a proper Navy man, and has honed the art of holding his breath and is able to like look it over. And it looks like it's been buried for a while. Like there's a fair amount of like dirt and sand in the bottom of it that's going to make this heavier once you get it out of the water. But and he's able to see it's got a fairly large hole in it. It's probably like a 14-inch diameter hole that's like in the bottom of this, and then some of these planks are warped from laying in the bottom of the. So it'll take a little work to make this seaworthy, but it doesn't have to. You're not going into the high ocean. You're just trying to make it across a mile or so of water, and so then you're able to come back up. It's in decent shape, but again, it'll only hold probably 3 or 4 of you.
Okay. So since it's lodged, is it lodged against some kind of ship?
No, it's half buried. That's it's lodged. It's lodged in the bed of the bay.
Okay. Is Sigbert and Arthur going to look at each other and, well, think we can get this thing out of there? And Arthur
Simone's now standing there too because he jogged over to talk to you.
Yeah.
Guys.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing?
We found a lifeboat. All we need to do is get it to shore so we can get this thing seaworthy again.
What makes you think we can like repair it?
Arthur's gonna look. He's gonna reach over to his bag or point to his bag because it's on the shore. I've got an extra hammer. I've got a little one with me right now. With my combined Navy skills and some repairs that I've done in the Navy.
What are your crafting abilities, my friend? Because I know you have a few.
Alchemy, leather, siege engine, untrained, and weapons.
Yeah, so Arthur's a craftsman. He would have some tools with him. Absolutely.
We just need to get this thing up and buoyant so we can get it to shore to be repaired. Sigbert? And I take this where we need to roll some strength checks.
Especially if you're just going to go down there and tug. Do you?
Oh yeah.
We're going to assess by seeing. We're going to do a first push, see
Okay.
how far it moves, and then if not, then we'll have to talk it out.
Yeah, cool. Strength checks then. Rest of the party standing on the beach. What are you guys doing?
Yes.
I'm going down and tugging. I'm just kidding.
Okay, so for Arthur, that's a 16, and for Sigbert, that is a 21.
Nice. I want to check in from the people on the beach. Actually, you know what? It'll be better here because as you guys are down there and you push, Simone sees like the super clear water just like cloud up as all the like sediment is pushed up as they shove into this thing and lift it and pull it and dig their heels in, and they start kicking up a bunch of like sand and churning up the water here. But in the process, you guys are able to dislodge it and you slide it basically all the way up to where the 50-foot shelf is, and you get it out of its buried state and just now need to like get it up over the ledge.
So do you want us to do another roll?
You guys have to come up for air, and then Simone's gonna
Yeah,
have an opportunity to react, as will everybody else on the beach.
Cool.
I was gonna
So
say,
you'll-
do I see like the nose of the ship coming up?
No, but
water
you can see the. Actually, no, you can't see anything because the water's all churned up from them.
Yeah.
Like digging
So
it
I
up.
would
But you
just
do
be,
see
like,
them.
staring.
You see them surface. They got to come back up for air.
With Kaithar already being.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Sorry. No, you're good.
With Kaithar being in the water, said, "I go help," and he helps bring up Arthur and Sigbert from the water, pulls them up.
Cool. So you're a couple
Get there.
hundred feet away because they were walking up the beach. So you start making your way, swimming over to them.
Yep.
Everybody
I'm
else.
gonna make
Okay.
my way over to the beach to the shore. I'm gonna take my. Actually, Yeah, I'm gonna take my gear off and go swim out there and see if they need a hand.
Okay, sounds
Yeah,
good.
we can use some help. You just hear Arthur. We could use some help here.
I'm gonna do a perception check in the area around us to see if there's anything else that's like could be viable.
Could
That's
be
currently
viable as a
a
like a.
flotation device.
Yeah, I mean, I'll save you some time. Arthur and Kythar, or Arthur and Sigbert have done that search in this area, and this is the best thing that they found.
Gotcha.
But there's plenty more. I mean, there's plenty more coast. You guys can keep walking up and keep looking for more options. But this is what's here. Obvious. There's nothing. There's no wreckage on this side. Most of the waves of the sea are hitting on the peninsula side, and there's a lot of debris over there. The current just doesn't bring a lot of that over here.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I guess I'll just wait for them. There's nothing I can do. Can't really swim, so I'm not good at swimming or pulling.
But with Reed, Sigbert, Arthur, and Kythar all grabbing a corner of this boat and pushing, I don't even need rolls. You guys have a combined strength score among all of you is more than enough to get this thing up and onto the shore. And the water starts to drain out of it, and there's still a fine layer of sediment in the bottom of it. And you can see that all the wood is warped, but it's also swollen from all the water, which kind of like pushes some of the wood pieces up against each other in some places really tight, but in other places it does leave small gaps. But you guys have successfully gotten this 3 to 4 man canoe out of the water.
Okay, Arthur and Sigberg are going to have a shared thumbs up, and then thanks, gentlemen. Okay, now it's time to get this thing seaworthy. You're going to see Arthur and what?
I was going to ask, what do you have to do to get it seaworthy?
Well, we're going to need to take some driftwood and be able to patch the holes, and then we're going to need to seal the cracks with some level of adhesive or some kind of tar. And then after that, we'll weight test it, see if we can get 3 people on it, and we'll be able to get some people off to the other side one at a time.
Where are you going to find tar? I'll look around.
I think Kythar's got plenty of that coming out of his butt.
You guys are gonna make a poop canoe?
Arthur just looks down and just whatever. He has a used torch and that has some resin. He goes, this.
Well, that makes way more sense.
About how far away is the farthest shore that we would be landing on?
It's about a mile of water.
Yeah, so you're going to hear Arthur say, give me all your used torches. We're going to need all the resin.
Okay, I'll hand the torch, but I'm gonna. Galvas is gonna say to Arthur. So you're the. You said you have experience in the water.
The Navy, yes.
Okay, so you think you can patch up this canoe, and you think it'll be seaworthy enough to make. Let's see, there's how many of us? That's what 6 trips, 5 trips. 2 and 1 mile. You think that it can handle it?
It's going to have to, unless you want the alternative of charging the gatehouse, which we entertained that idea earlier this morning.
I'm just asking your professional opinion.
Oh, okay. A professional opinion. With all the repair tools, we take our time. We can get this thing seaworthy. And then we'll need it on the way back because we're going to need to have some kind of exfil if in the event some monsters are chasing us with this stupid helmet that we've been looking for.
Okay. And go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I don't know, Cal asked if Desperado's going to fit on that boat.
Well, like, here's my thought: is that's a gatehouse, right? There's, if depending on how the there, is there a dock inside the gatehouse? There might be a fucking boat in there we can use. Because we got to get across that peninsula, right, David? Or that moat?
I mean, basically, if you guys were to get this thing seaworthy and sail in a straight line from coast to coast, you guys would end up a few hundred feet east of the gatehouse on the rocky coastline that goes up into the plateau that the wall sits on top of. So it's like it's like
Gotcha.
rocks and boulders, and then it like plateaus off. Then there's the crumbled remains of the wall, and around on the other side of the gatehouse, a few hundred feet on the other side, probably more than a few hundred feet, probably about 300 or 400 feet on the other side. That's where the skeletons are like coming out of the water, where the concentrated shipwrecks all are, and you guys are on the other side of the gatehouse.
So, like, our plan is to land in the rocks near the skeletons?
Yeah, when I had mentioned the boat, I thought it was going to be a little more, me and Despo here won't be able to fit on that canoe.
It wasn't that long ago I was on a 48 gun boat. However, considering the circumstances, we don't have one.
I love this attitude.
Where did you?
Believe me, I used to have a crew with a 48 gun boat. And we'd have all kinds of cannon, all kinds of personnel. And we had all the food in the world for an 8-month journey. We don't have that right now. What we need to do is find a way to either get that gatehouse open so that way the rest of you guys can come through, or we find a safer landing spot, and this takes longer, but we'll at least get everyone across. We can discuss the landing spot, but either way, let's at least get the boat operational so we have options.
Well, wouldn't do much good to get the boat operational and still find no landing spot. Why don't we go walk the shoreline for a bit and see if there's a better spot to land?
You do that. Sigbert and I will, and anyone else who wants to help, will get this boat ready to go.
I'm going to continue walking the shoreline.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Simone.
Yeah.
Sigbert and Arthur are going to get their gear by in the event they get attacked or anything. They have their main gear and secondary gear.
Cool, fair enough.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling out specifically that you're re-equipping.
I would
Yeah,
like
so-
Galfast.
Yeah, Simone, hang on. I just realized I'm still naked. I'm gonna go back and put all my clothes back on and my gear.
Simone, that takes 10 minutes. Are you waiting for him?
I'll be like, just catch up, fool.
Well, Kythar has to go too because he was already in the water naked, so he has to go grab his stuff real quick.
Kythar dressed himself.
That's why he's going. That's why he's going to Reed. Reed's going to help.
Oh,
What? Sweet. So
Oh, okay.
Galfast, I do want Galfast to be looking at the temple in the center. He's staring at the now 2 remaining flying things.
Yeah, roll me a perception check, please.
And I'm looking for alarm. Like, I know this isn't great that we're just standing on a shore, but maybe they haven't seen us.
They've seen you.
So I think it's 20, but give me a moment.
Yeah, you're good.
Or I'm sorry, 19. Let's see, perception is... Oh, no, my perception is 12, so it's 21.
Great. What you see is there are 3 specifically of these creatures remaining after the 4th one took off just over the open ocean from as far as Galfast could tell. But he sees another one take off towards the south. Like it comes up and it takes off, and instead of veering off over the water like the mounted one did, this one heads due south. And it disappears from his sight for a while. And then about 5 minutes later, he sees it in the distance to the far south on the opposite side of the city, working its way back around closer to the mountains on the east. And it's heading first due south, then southeast, then east, and it's making a big arc.
Towards us?
Eventually, yes. And it won't fly directly overhead, but it'll fly within probably a quarter mile of where you guys are, half a mile of where you guys are.
Does it look like scouting behavior instead of like attacking? Or...
Absolutely.
Okay, so I think I'm still standing, but well, if anybody can hear me, I know I'm by Sigbert and the professor, and I'm gonna say, think they're gonna see us soon if they haven't seen us yet, and I'm gonna point at the one taking the arc.
And as you're saying this, Simone and or not Simone, Kythar and Reed like jog past you guys in the direction that Simone walked off.
You'll see me like pointing.
Okay. Does Arthur see what?
Did we hear
Yeah,
him?
yeah. Once he points it out, 100%. Yeah, and that's why I narrated it that way, so you guys heard that.
Oh, okay. We'll go. I'll go catch Simone then. We'll go let him know.
Okay.
So we'll go run and grab Simone and let him know.
Right. And so
Hey.
Simone has Reed and Kythar running up from behind him. They're fully armored. He hears them before he sees them. Clink, clank, 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 clink, clank, clink, clink, clink.
Chainmail.
Eyes on the water, fool. Look out. What else can we find besides that piece of shit boat?
Hey, we gotta go.
What do you mean we gotta go?
Galfast said there's patrolling and they're gonna be on top of us soon.
Who's they?
The thing's flying in the air, and I'm gonna point.
Do I see it?
And
Do you
Simone
point?
squints in the direction that he's pointing, and off in the distance, over a mile away, there's a large flying figure, but it is moving southeast and then east in a big like arc, basically.
Okay, I'm gonna then return to the group.
It's only been about 5 minutes, 10 minutes, so I guess it
Yeah.
takes you 10 minutes to put your gear on. It's been about 15 minutes. Not nearly enough time for Arthur to get this thing seaworthy, but you guys are all standing around this boat together. Arthur has got his tools out. Sigbert's like holding the boat up.
Is there I'm gonna do a perception check for a place we can take cover.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So that's 17.
So there's a stretch of coast about 180 to 100 feet where there's dead ass nothing that you guys are standing on right now with your boat.
Mhm.
Once you go back towards the direction you came from, it is in the same way that on the opposite shore it's like a craggy coastal boulders and things. So there is that same style of broken terrain with like large boulders and things behind you, and it wouldn't offer perfect cover, but there are two of these boulders that are close enough together that if you guys like huddled between them, it would give you pretty good like aerial cover.
I'm gonna point that out to the rest of the group and be all right there, fool. If we all nuts to butts, we can fit inside there.
Hey, Arthur and Sigbert start sprinting for it, right behind Simone.
We start heading there.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
And you guys all hunker down, and from this position, you have cover from the sky, so you also can't see the sky. How long are you guys going to hang out here?
An hour. Right.
Peek my head out and see if I see what I can see.
So you're.
I mean, we're in boulders, right? So
Right.
yeah. So I'm gonna like lean out from behind a boulder, do like the one eye squint to where I would think that the arc it was making where he would be after the 15 minutes took.
Yeah, so you wait a while before, because you have limited range from where you're at, and you do catch a glimpse of it flying past, and you kind of like do the math in your head, and you figure that if you guys wait here for another 20 minutes or so, based on the direction it's heading, it'll be like in front of the cave where you guys camped last night. If you guys wait about 20 minutes or so, and then presumably, based on what you guys saw last night with the direction it was going, it's going to then come out on the west side of the road over the ocean, before in that general direction. But that it'll kind of complete that arc in about 20 minutes.
Okay, so I'll say it's if we wait here much longer, if we should wait here a bit longer, it's going to complete its arc and then we'll have an opening. It looks like it's just scouting. Maybe we could lay a trap for it. Maybe like somebody could go lay on the beach and it would swoop down on its own. I don't know. It'll see us eventually the way it's looking. They may have already seen us.
Well, the last time we fought one of those fuckers, fool, it almost killed a few of us.
Well, shit, there's 3.
So why don't you go be bait on the beach then?
I mean,
I think there's
if
more
that's the
cover.
plan.
I think there's more cover in the city, though. If we
That's a
time
good
this
idea.
right, we can get across. Before it gets back over here.
When
That
when
beats me being bait.
I'm with you, Simone.
Even if the
Yeah.
garage isn't open.
So I guess it sounds like we're going to be timing it. So as soon as we are, it's 25% of the way away, flying away from us, we're going to continue on to the gatehouse.
So you guys are going to leave the boat here and go back on the road towards the gatehouse?
Oh, that's what we just proposed. So
Yeah, that's what I just proposed.
Okay. I just need, once you guys have decided what you're doing, I just need to know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
All the way up until that point, that's character stuff.
Does anybody not want to go to the gatehouse?
Hey, Bill, is it Bilb now? Or is it Bill?
Will.
Will.
Yeah.
He's super sneaky, right? Can he scout ahead?
It's got to head to the gatehouse.
Do the
To the
gatehouse.
gatehouse, yeah.
Yeah. Can I roll him into stealth, David?
You can, but just know that that is only really going to apply anytime that he's got cover to hide behind. Like if he's flying through the air, he's flying through the air. There is no stealth for flying through the air. But yeah, 100%.
Yeah, Arthur and Sigbert are both going to go for the stealth idea, so that way they don't just take a risk for the whole party right away.
What's his final? I know it's going to be high.
His final is 31.
Fucking Christ. Okay, sounds good. And then Sigbert and Arthur are doing stealth as well. Where just for the walking bit of things.
Wait, what do you mean we're doing the walk? We're letting Wilb do its thing.
Got you. While you let Will do his thing. So you got.
Yeah.
Yes.
I guess I'm not clear. Are you guys staying in the boulder hiding place, or are you guys?
Wilb only.
I
Will
think.
is the only one who's leaving.
Yes.
Great.
Oh,
And I don't need a stealth check on anybody else. Hidden by boulders. I don't need a stealth check on anybody else.
Yeah, they're high by the boulders. They want to see what Wilb sees first.
Unless somebody else is going with Will, is what he's asking.
Sigbert and Arthur are not down to take that risk right now.
So Will disappears.
Yeah.
And keep in mind that you guys walked for about a half an hour to get to this point, off the main road, and that, he's going to be able to cover a little more ground by himself and as a quadruped, but, it's still probably going to take him 15, 20 minutes to get there and 15, 20 minutes to get back, which is going to leave you guys waiting here for the better part of an hour while you wait for his response. So I just want to be clear that everybody's kind of huddled in this boulder and chilling for him.
Yep.
Sweet. Perception check for Wilb as he's looking around. And is there anything he's looking for in particular?
So I know that there's the 2 golems and the statue of a man and a woman. I wanted to see if there's any other creatures there. And what's the state of the gatehouse? Is the gate open or is it closed, or things like that. That is 16.
On a 16, I guess I need to make a couple of checks myself. On a 16, Will, prowls his way up, picking his way from boulder to tree to shrub, keeping himself low to the ground, getting, using the height advantage that he has to kind of peek and peer out from around things, without. Because once you get down to the last 300 to 500 feet or so, it's basically just a straight line up to the gatehouse. So Will makes it a point to stay far enough back, unless you tell me otherwise, to be able to keep his cover really well, but also to be able to kind of surveil in the way that you're describing.
Yes.
He is able to determine that the gate is shut. It's a portcullis that raises up and down. That's bars of iron. But it's completely rusted through. Like there are chunks of it that are literally like falling apart.
Okay.
And the gatehouse itself is not. Calling it a gatehouse is really generous. It's the archway, which is the strongest structure, with the portcullis that's sitting leaning up there by gravity, and then like two big ass piles of stone, a couple of cornices or whatever they call the like knobs that are on top of castles. There's like just like one little corner of that that's still intact, and then just like piles of rubble going out in both directions that were once the walls, which are still, 30 feet high, 40 feet high, but at its highest point, but at its lowest point, they're probably closer to 25 feet high. He can see the statues really clearly. As again,
Mhm.
one's a masculine figure with no head and no arms. The other one
Mhm.
is a woman who, especially now that Wilb is this close, can see.
Mhm.
This statue has obviously had like some like was crafted by an expert or is imbibed with some magic. Like there's based on how destroyed everything else is, like there's no way this thing would be in this good of condition for like
Mhm.
where it's standing and the stuff that it's around. In
Gotcha.
front of it are these two stone golems, which are just kind of like almost like T pose, just kind of like standing there,
Mhm.
not moving at all. Um, and
Are they
around them,
dilapidated as well?
they are dilapidated as well. And you can see like chunks missing, moss growing on them. Like these things are really old, but they're, all rock golems are piles of rocks squished together. So this is just a more crumbly version of that, like a very old
Uh-huh.
version of that. But Wilb is just an extension of Simone, and Simone,
Yeah.
with his knowledge of magic, would know that like with constructs, looks can be deceiving. Like these things probably, these. It's very likely these things still operate, but you don't
Yeah.
really have any way of knowing until you get there, right?
Mhm.
And then you rolled a 16. You looked at the gatehouse. You looked at those guys, and there isn't any obvious signs of any other creatures, but the like ground around these golems is like all like divoted, and like there was there one time there was like a stone road which has like pit holes broken out of it and stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Signs of battle.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I relay that to the rest of the party, letting them know specifically about the artisanship of the woman and how it seems it could be magical. And the two golems, while they look dilapidated, like don't let them fool you, fool. There's like hella divots around them. They've been in battle before. And then I send Will back
Okay.
to us,
Cool.
still in stealth, if you don't
Still in
mind.
stealth. Great. Yep.
Yeah.
And you guys have timed all of this in such a way that the creature, is just making its pass kind of as Wilb is getting back to the group, or at least he's made his way most of the way back to the group.
Mm-hmm.
It does not seem to alert at Wilb, and continues its arc. It sails kind of like over the gatehouse, or over the ships in the bay, over the skeletons, over the gatehouse, and then lands on the center building and disappears. And there's just two of them, sailing around in like figure eights over that center palace.
So that I relay that to the rest of the party, be like, and it looks like that puto bird landed in the center palace too. So I don't think it's patrolling anymore.
Probably go now then.
So do you guys want to do like go across the bay, or do you want to try to go to the gatehouse? The gatehouse, I mean, shit. One of Kaitar's farts could push it open.
I could
Maybe we
try.
can sneak by.
Good luck. I mean, constructs usually it's like some sort of pretty powerful magic. You'd have to be able to sneak by all of us too. Like that puto over there, and I point at Reed and ball. That puto's not sneaking,
Well,
Hey, Clank.
especially with them cheeks.
Hey,
Easy.
They're
Well, we
smooth, so
have
they
some.
squeak when they rub together. You said so yourself how smooth they are.
more, more,
We do have
like
a.
like rubber gloves together.
What are you gonna say, Aaron?
I was gonna say we do have a powerful mage on our side as well, right?
Who's that?
I'm gonna look at a
Aid?
task.
Oh,
Cade.
oh me?
Yeah, you shot like ice blasts and
I mean,
What you got now?
make short work of those constructs
Lightning?
for us.
Hey, Dave. Sigbert wants to look at the map one more time and see if there's any sewers or anything underground. That would be another entrance into the city.
I will save you the roll. This is a super, super old hand-drawn map that appears to be just a topographical map of the layout of the city. There is no indication of any kind of like 3D elements above or below. Like it's a 2D map basically. It was never built with that kind of intention in mind.
Rudimentary map.
He's still checking his bases because at this point,
That's
we're
fair.
looking at.
So Sigbert's like
Yeah.
pulled out his map and he's like looking at it.
Yeah. Sigbert
So-
talks about another possibility, but he thinks it's a long shot. Did anyone see any sewers or anything else that could be alternative entrance?
I didn't
It-
see one, but that was kind of my thought. Is that if we take the boat over, we can try to look for sewers through the walls, right?
Yeah, and
Sounds like
that
we
way
have
we
to
can
find
get
an
away from
area.
those airborne creatures that may spot us, and then the whole who knows whatever. So then there, ghosts and possibly a dragon.
The problem
Demons.
is I have the feeling that what we seek is in that tower.
You hear Sigbert sigh. A siege then.
If we siege it, are we just going to end up fighting all four of them at the same time, though?
One of them definitely flew away.
No, you count wrong. 3.
I mean, we're not going to make it to them right away. You know, by the time we get there, all four of them might be back.
Oh,
Your DM has a question for you guys. We're getting to the end of our session. Do you guys want to take a week and figure out what you want to do?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
we'll have more brain power next week too.
Then you
I
guys
agree.
spend your time that you should be at work
don't know
and being
about that.
productive, thinking about our D&D game, and work whatever angles you can. Text me, ask me about whatever ideas you have or anything that you might want to try, and I will give you whatever information I can. And we'll pick up next week with you guys, like just kind of on the other end of this moment. You guys like saw the patrol land. You're kind of cowering in these boulders. Will has just made it back. You have a boat, that you drag out of the water, but it still needs a repair. And you guys will kind of decide what you want to do from there. Take a week to think about it, and this is where we'll pick up next week.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Alrighty.
Cool. Bye, guys.
All right.
Cool.
All right.
You guys,
Bye,
have,
everybody.
Bye, guys.
have a
Bye.
good one.
Bye.
All right, guys. Let me take a look at my little viewer count here, and we will see if we've got enough peoples for a raid. I would love to do one of those, but I only have one viewer, which might be Soto, because sometimes this is wrong, and it says I have one viewer, and I think it's me, and there's somebody else out there. It happened with Becky last week. So, Soto, if you are out there, thanks, bud. Thanks for the sub. Thanks for all the support. Thank you, everybody who might be watching this after the fact on YouTube, what have you. And next week, we are really going to get into the ruined city of Isolde, and we'll see kind of what's up. Until then, take it easy, guys.